place that shows up for you every single day you're home. Right now, when you buy 2 windows, you get 2 free. That's a real deal, and there's no limit. You'll also get 0% interest for 36 months, $500 off your next home improvement project. Call 414-410-2000 or visit universalwindowsdirect.com to schedule your free estimate today. And like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
There aren't any Jasons 12 and under. That's a dead name.
Packers Hall of Famer, Mark Tauscher.
How many kids do you hear, hey, Marky, it might be almost to the point of Ruth?
Live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios in downtown Milwaukee at the 3rd Street Market Hall.
You love that name so much, you don't even go by it.
If you call me Mark, I'm fine. I like my name. I like my name a lot.
This is Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch.
It's Wilde and Touch, isn't it?
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Thursday edition. The Gutenator hath spoken. We'll get into our thoughts.
Nah.
The Sam Hawkins on Twitter, before the show even began, after Goody talked, aren't you glad he only talks once a year because no one needs to hear that garbage more than once? Edition. Garbage seems a little strong, but not completely unfair. Edition. And the Giannis watch continues. What time? Riley Yauk, what time is the NBA trade deadline? I know we've got a special trade deadline show that we're airing from 12 until 2. When does the trade have to be consummated?
Yep,
3 p.m.
2 p.m. Central Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Time.
Well, Tausch operates on Eastern Time. He's always one. It's Lombardi time
guy, actually.
Big Mountain Time guy. The Mountain Time edition of Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and, of course, everything you need on the amazing ESPN Wisconsin app, which you can find both in the Apple and Android app stores. I'm Jace Wilde in Green Bay. Riley Yauk is our cousin sub of the day. His skill with the quill is undeniable. He's in for Jesse because Jesse's driving back from River Falls, Wisconsin for WIAC Wednesdays, as he called the game and held the championship trophy that UW River Falls football team won in Division III. And from his undisclosed location with a slightly different camera angle, I don't know if that means just the IT department got it fixed or...
OG got it done again.
Old girl. God, where would we be without her? The unsung
I would
hero.
struggle. Yeah, I would struggle.
Except in the kitchen when you ban her from using the stove. He is the Packers Hall of Famer. He is Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good. I know we have some special trade programming I'm just going to I'll give Strophe and Gabe, and I think is Brust, the other guy doing the trade deadline.
Apparently. Yeah, apparently. Former NBA player.
Be ready to filibuster about Giannis and what the future holds, because there ain't nothing happening. If he does get traded, it'll be in the summer like it should be.
Correct.
And the fact Golden State traded their guys last night that were part of it, thank goodness. I just don't want to sit here and get Doncic'd. Now, if we get Doncic'd and we get Cooper Flagg, I would argue the Dallas Mavericks are probably in a better spot now, even without Doncic. I think they're probably better suited for the future the way the trade panned out because they received the first overall pick. If we can figure that out, I'm on board. But otherwise, I don't want to get Doncic'd. So
yeah, they
let's
traded
not worry
Anthony
about
Davis yesterday. The guy they got for Doncic.
I'm well aware. That's why I mentioned it.
Yeah, it's a good point. So I just didn't know if everyone.
So it is great. There's programming 12 to 2 with all the boys. That'll be great. But yeah, nothing's going to happen. That's my take.
Speaking of nothing happening, Brian Gutekunst spoke yesterday. I don't know how much of it you consumed.
I saw the clips. I mean, it's what I do for. This is my job. So I'm not saying I broke down every transcript, but what was your takeaway from the 37 minutes? I think it was. If I
38 minutes and some change. Yeah, it was.
What was your big takeaway?
Everything's great except we can't finish games. Everything's great.
The special team stuff was absurd. And listen, man, this is coming from now, albeit I am not the same amount of stand-up for Goody as I had been. Mm-hmm. I think Brian Gutekunst is a heck of a general manager. I think he's built a championship roster. But you can't sit here and tell me that special teams isn't a problem. And you can love Rich Bisaccia. By the way, I didn't know. I think Goody's got a very strong tie to Rich Bisaccia, too, right? It's not just Matt LaFleur. I think everybody loves Rich Bisaccia, right?
I believe I've said to you on multiple occasions, and other people in our ESPN Wisconsin Galaxy, that the Packers believe that Rich Bisaccia is absolutely crucial to the culture in their building. You even came up with the new title of culture coordinator. What was like the third or fourth word out of Goody's mouth when he was asked about Rich Bisaccia? Culture.
Culture.
So
no, but I'm saying there's a personal isn't Rich for like there's some personal thing there too. I think he just no, I don't know about that. I think it's more that he really values his opinion in terms of special teams, and sometimes his opinion's been good. Anders Carlson.
And then sometimes his opinion has been his opinion of Anders Carlson, correct?
When has his opinion been good so far? I just want to know.
Daniel Whelan. He's turned into one of the best punters in football.
We don't
Keyshawn
punt.
Nixon.
3 games, we don't even punt. But yeah, it's great that we got a
Keyshawn Nixon, great decision, except he doesn't do the return gig anymore.
Sure. That was, of all of the things that I saw, and you were there. I don't know how many questions you asked. When I heard the special teams commentary, I'm going to be honest. I kind of checked out because it's just not that.
It was toward the end, so that's good.
Yeah, it's not where reality is. Like it's just not. And yeah, I'm not going to continue on this crusade, as you put it. I have to learn how to like mute conversations because this tweet I put up yesterday didn't really get like a ton of steam going, and then all of a sudden by the end of the show I looked and it was like there's just a ton of, and it's mainly 3 or 4 people that were arguing that special teams hasn't even been a big factor in that 15-year Super Bowl drought. And I just have a hard time. Like, you can say some things are subjective, and is there coaching that's in play? I know Chris Jackie tweeted at me and said, what about coaching? I don't know if we ever did get that poll in the field as far as why we have the 3rd best winning percentage in the last 15 years in the regular season. Every other team in the top 4 has at least 3 Super Bowl appearances. We don't have any. Why is that? Is it unfortunate events? Absolutely. Luck plays a part, but not that much. Mm-hmm. And there are other reasons, but special teams it falls at. And I would just love for Goody, Matt, I know Russ doesn't talk. It would just be nice if you just said, yeah, we trust and believe in the guys we have here, but we need special teams to be a lot better. And then on top of all that, so this thing is just dragging out. Like I stopped looking at the comments. It was a lot. Do you know the last time we had a punt? Maybe it's a punt and kick return.
I do. No, punt return. We had the return by Nixon, the touchdown against the Vikings a couple years ago. Correct. Yep. Okay. Continue. Did you want to deliver this?
You can answer the question then.
Okay. Well, we both saw the same tweet. So I thought maybe you were asking that rhetorically, not specifically to me to answer.
How do I know if you saw a tweet? How do I know if you saw
Because you sent it to me.
That doesn't mean you read it. I send you a lot of stuff that doesn't get brought up on air.
No, it always. I have my read receipts on, bro. You know when I see your texts.
I did send that because for everybody that's sitting there, it's one thing. I understand it's hard to return punts and kicks in this league. Kicks, especially with the new rules and everything else. We're going on 13 years, man. 2014. 12 years, but it depends on how the season works.
Micah,
12 years, 13 seasons.
So the question Tausch was asking, I will answer it now. So
I don't know. Did you see that? So did you check my tweet?
Hey, would you stop?
Well, I mean, seriously.
I just didn't know if you were being rhetorical or not.
Play the game. Let's play the game, man.
So you don't always play the. You're not always predictable. I may be predictable. You're not as predictable.
Right. Go ahead.
The last time the Green Bay Packers returned a punt for a touchdown was by Micah Hyde on December 28th, 2014. And by the way,
it's unbelievable.
I believe he has the last three.
Yeah, I didn't realize he was a hell of a punt returner. Is it the curse of the Hyde? Is it the curse of the Hyde?
I'm again. Remember when he came on our show and told the story of, I think it was Russ Ball who conveyed the message to him that with 6 games left in the 2016 season, 12, 13, 14, maybe it was the 15 season or 16, we're not going to re-sign you. With 6 games left in the year, we're not keeping you. Which again, why you would say that to someone, I have no idea.
You want honesty. People want honesty.
Yeah, we do. I'm not sure that that's a great motivational technique, but be that as it may, bottom line, that's a long time. And the punt return rules haven't changed. You could say, well, kick returns, it's harder now, right?
You get more You actually get more opportunities now than you did the last 3 or 4 years. So,
but the setup might be a little bit more difficult. But whatever the case may be.
By the way, was Micah Hyde starting at safety when he was returning punts?
I don't. I'll have to go back and
he wasn't
look.
Starting.
He might have been the nickel guy. I don't remember off the top of my head. I will look.
But he did say that he refused to return kicks because he was now playing.
He definitely did not say that.
Okay.
No.
I just wanted to cue that up.
Say that, yeah. But anyway, to your point, it was a really long time ago. Really, really, really long time ago. So I get it. That is the area of special teams that Brian Gutekunst could have at least been honest and said, because look, he did outline. He insisted that they have a lot of guys on their team. He had a great line about Ted Thompson, how Ted spent 10 years in the NFL basically playing only special teams, and yet he did not want players that were special teams only players, and that we have a lot more of those now. And then you go through the list: Christian Welch, Nick Neiman, Aaron Mosby, Bo Melton, Zane Anderson. It's kind of true. Now, all those guys other than Mosby were on injured reserve by the end of the season. But that's
Bull Melton was also your fourth wideout.
And your fourth corner.
Sure.
So I guess.
But doesn't that make this worse? Doesn't that make it worse?
And my point is that at the very least you could have said, you know what, we got to get a returner. You don't have to listen to Tausch on the show to hear that, but you drafted 2 wide receivers. I was just saying this to Strofe when we were taping Weekly Wilde. You drafted 2 wide receivers, neither of whom had any return experience, and then you tried to make them into returners. Matthew Golden had never returned a punt in his life before the NFL. In his life. Savion Williams, not the new Cordero Patterson, at least not yet. So that would at least be one of those instances where you could say, hey, we think we've got really good special teams units, but we have to get more out of our return game. And then your answer is viewed differently, right? It just is, because then there's a kernel of acknowledgement of, hey, this isn't good enough. So,
I just want to make sure. I hope, and because I understand Goody, when he tells, doesn't give you all the information. Like he owes us nothing. He doesn't owe us anything. He needs to build a football team. His approach of all of these guys are still on the roster. We expect them back. It's not going to happen. We know that. But I just hope that in his heart of hearts, I believe he believes he's got a championship roster. And by the way, I am on his side on that. I believe we do too. But I don't believe that he believes the special teams are good enough. And if he does, that's when I have a problem. Because that just doesn't make any sense. Goody isn't he's not one of these myth-based guys. I think he is a realist. I think he was very real about the offensive line. I thought very blunt. And I'm just wondering, why would you, if you're going to be blunt of your assessment on a unit that wasn't good enough, and we all agree that wasn't, and that was at the top of your list, if it wasn't for me pushing special teams the way I am, because I want us to win a championship and I want us to be better, I don't know why he wouldn't have that same assessment of a unit that just hasn't been good enough. That makes you think that you're complacent, and I don't want to have to sit here and defend and talk and complain about a unit that just hasn't been good enough, and I don't know why you wouldn't just air it out, because you have a full offseason to do something about it. And by the way, if it's just words, which these press conferences a lot of times are, and he's going to be about that action, then all of this is moot. But he's shown that he will tell you, and he'll give you some tea leaves as far as where things are going.
Breadcrumbs, some might say.
Yeah. And these breadcrumbs make me think we're going to end up with a blank sandwich again. I don't think any of us on specialty, we don't want to eat blank sandwiches. Let's go get us a nice cousin sub. Let's go get us a nice sandwich that we can actually function. And, hey, if we can score or set up a couple of tutters next year, that'd be phenomenal. Or not have a flag after every other kickoff or punt. That would be nice. Or maybe we don't have to go through the first 2 months of a season worrying that a field goal or an extra point's going to get blocked or a punt is going to get blocked. That's where this season was. And we're just sitting here saying, I believe and trust in what we're doing? God, I hope that's not true. Because it ain't good enough. Did anybody ask him about Rashid Shaheed and what Seattle is doing? And if that changes the dynamic at all?
No. So I got my handful of questions in. There were a lot of people there. There were a lot of questions asked. I felt good about what I asked. I didn't feel great about the answers, though. And as I say all the time, it's about the answers. It's not about your questions. And then I failed in some of my, like the one about sprinkling in a few more veteran players. He looked at me like I had a third eye. Like he just, he was like, no, we're not doing that. He just doesn't believe, again, I asked him about the 1.6 players per draft class, the average of getting second contracts. I'm not sure that I got clear answer on that because they got a hell of a lot of good football players. They're going to be below the 1.6 from that 2022 class if we don't count one-year deals, right? Because that's what Christian Watson has, and that's the fifth-year option that Devontae Wyatt has. But right now they're at one who got an actual multi-year extension, and that is Zach Tom. And he's probably going to be the only one from a draft class where guys played a ton of snaps for you. We'll get into that. We'll hear Goody's special teams answer. We'll create some space between the conversation and playing that just because I just think it's going to further irritate you. And I know how to irritate you, that's for sure. But I do want to get to some of the things that we talked about with Goody yesterday. We'll get to that coming up after Tausch talks about Gina Della and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Indeed, our homes need to be ready for just about anything in Wisconsin, and that is year-round. That's why Pella focuses on quality and durability in everything that they do. And it's that time of year, the Nari Spring Home Improvement Show, February 13th through the 15th, down at Wisconsin State Fair Park. If you're looking to build a new house, you're looking to replace windows or doors, head on down there, booth number 420. Down at the Wisconsin State Fair Park for the Nari Spring Home Improvement Show. Stop on in there again. That's February 13th through the 15th. Is there anything more romantic than telling the one you love you want to save money, be more efficient, and just be smart about what you're doing? I don't think so. If you book that in-home consultation at the show, at the Nari Spring Home Improvement Show, you will receive a free Design Works rendering. Don't miss out on 0% financing for up to 4 years. It ends on the 28th of February. Visit PellaWI.com today to learn more.
We'll get to some of the highlights of Brian Gutekunst's conversation with us yesterday at Lambeau Field next. It's Wilde Tausch.
Wilde Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. All day, every day. The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hey Tom, I want a new hoop for the kids. Any ideas?
Yeah, I got mine from Precision Sports over 10 years ago. They helped me choose the right hoop, installed it, and even painted my court lines.
Nice. How do I reach them?
Easy. PrecisionSportsOnline.com for a free quote.
Imagine working with a contractor that quits halfway through a project or never calls you back when you have questions. Or worse, takes your money and you never see them again. Unfortunately, we hear about them all the time. Hi, this is Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, and Siding Unlimited is absolutely not that company. Siding Unlimited has been doing business for 32 years, proving to be an honest, ethical, and forthright company. If you're looking for the honest guys for your next siding, windows, roofing, and doors project, stop by sidingunlimited.com today.
Kessler's gives you diamond choices that no one else can give you.
We have all the colors and clarities and carat weights of diamonds that come from diamond mines.
And we also have diamonds that come from plasma chambers, newborn created diamonds.
Is it time to buy an engagement ring?
Or a big anniversary diamond?
Tell them what an anniversary diamond is, Monica.
An anniversary diamond can be twice as big as the one in her engagement ring.
Why twice as big?
Every diamond makes a statement.
Okay.
The anniversary diamond says, I love you twice as much today as the day I married you.
Now tell them about our miraculous no small print warranty.
If you bought it at Kessler's, it's guaranteed.
It's just that simple.
And all maintenance is free forever.
No charge.
Yes, it really is that miraculous.
You found a partner you want to share your life with.
When you're ready to celebrate.
We've got a diamond for that.
Find the Kesslers nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after. An in-depth recap of every Bucks game.
In 6 minutes. No more?
No less. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. If you missed any of the game or just want to relive the biggest moments, Bucks in 6 provides game recaps every morning after. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis or the deep threes from Miles Turner. And catch the comments post-game about what happened on the court. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on Bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Start your Milwaukee weight loss program now to lose weight fast. Many lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two. Call for your free consultation. 262-235-3980. 262-235-3980 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Results may vary.
$2.3 million. A recent Schwab survey of Americans says that it takes $2.3 million to be wealthy. Well, you may have had your financial plan set on a bigger or a more humble number. But if you're looking for added insights on how to get there or how to avoid some tax pitfalls on the way, Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen. Mark Tauscher here, and whether your situation is complex or simple, the Annex Wealth Management team can give you wealth expertise and guidance on reaching your goals. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Experience hot gaming action and a relaxing spa day. Your perfect winter getaway at the island. Book a stay and float package to get both a standard room and a rejuvenating 60-minute float pod therapy session for less than $100. Complement your stay with an elevated dining experience at Horizon Steakhouse and fun on the gaming floor where big wins wait for you. The Island Resort and Casino's stay and float package runs through February. Call 800-682-6040 to book yours today. Certain days and restrictions apply.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
We'll get back to the special teams answer a little bit later here in the program. Tausch, I try not to have my opinion influence what I ask, because then you end up doing what I don't think beat writers should do, which is, craft their stories based on what they think. You have to be open-minded. But in the instance of re-signing players to second contracts from your draft class, which is clearly an issue with so many free agents from a 2022 class that played a lot of football for this team the last 4 years, and I didn't mention Evan Williams by name because I didn't really want to make it seem like, well, Evan Williams says you guys are immature, so I didn't want to bring his name up to the general manager. But that was, of all the moments and all the conversations I had this season, that conversation with Evan Williams in the locker room after the playoff game, in the visitors' locker room at Soldier Field, the same room that I had been in when you guys won the NFC Championship game. It's the same locker room. It's exactly the same. Nothing has changed in the 15 years since. Asking him, look,
into Indiana.
Well, they will, yeah. Look, tell me if I'm off base on this. Please tell me if I'm wrong. And Evan Williams, at the end of my question about immaturity, of not being able to handle success and not handling adversity very well, you hit the nail on the head. So would a sprinkling of more veteran players who are there, I was retelling the story this morning on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy of what you said about Raleigh McKenzie and how valuable he was to you. He helped you take his roster spot. That's how unselfish and veteran he was, right? And so I asked questions regarding the draft class 1.6 that he had brought up a few years ago, and I asked a question about having a few more experienced players on the roster, and I'm not sure that the answers couldn't have gone worse for me. Here is that exchange. I would like you to give your thoughts.
You mentioned having a lot of young, good players that are heading to free agency from that 2022 class. I remember a couple of years ago before the draft, you pointed out that 1.6 average of players getting second contracts across the league. How are you balancing that? Because that's a blockbuster class, and there's some decisions that how do you go about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate you can't keep all of them, right? That's the way it works in the National Football League, and certainly every year there's guys that you have to move on from that you don't want to, but just because of the choices you have to make. And this year will be no different. Next year will be no different than that. It's just a constant kind of look at how do you give your team the best chance to win year in and year out. And certainly Russ and I spend a lot of time just looking at 26, 27, 28, how everything, if you decide to sign a guy to an extension, how that's going to affect everything else. But those aren't easy choices because you can't predict the future. But at the same time, it's better to have a lot of those choices than not many.
Those guys have been a key component to your philosophy of being young, and then they become young but still experienced. Are you willing to consider, or is it worth thinking about maybe just having a couple more guys that are not like way past their prime older, but the 30-year-old number is a number that seems like a pretty clear line of demarcation on your roster. Is that something that you're open to, or do you really think that you have to be careful?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that's a line of demarcation at all. I think obviously we went through a period of time where we were kind of growing with these young guys, and I would expect these guys to kind of turn into those guys. Sometimes, particularly where we've been the past few years, if you have a lot of those guys you're talking about, these other guys don't get to play and progress. Right, and they have now, and we've been young in number for a couple of years, but not in experience, and I think to me, anytime you have an opportunity to add a player that can help you, regardless of their age, again, very few years are we adding guys for 1 year. We're usually looking for a more long-term solution. And certainly if you're up there in age, that may not be the case. But we've certainly done that in the past. We'll do it again.
I'm sorry. I don't know how you can say that age 30 is not a line of demarcation on your roster when the only two people that had celebrated their 30th birthday on your roster were the kicker and the long snapper. That is atypical for this league. I'm not saying you have to have 40 guys that are 30 and over, but 2 and they're specialists. Help me understand where I went wrong there, old boy.
Well, I think anytime you generalize, you can kind of, use an example against it. But I don't have a problem with how Goody approaches things. I do believe there is, and it's not with every player, but as you get older, it is harder and harder to stay healthy. And it's harder and harder to perform at your best if you can't practice, if you can't go through an off season where you can actually work instead of have to rehab. It gets very difficult. And I think when you look at the decisions Goody has made, or Ted or anybody, when you start looking at bringing back guys on third deals, just haven't worked. And if you look at things and continue to do the same thing, you're going to get the same results. I think Goody is very leery of giving anybody a third contract. I'm going to be very curious what he does with Josh Jacobs. I know I heard all the right stuff yesterday, but I'll be curious when the metal hits the road, or the rubber hits the road, what that's going to end up looking like. So on the whole, I couldn't agree more with Goody on the fact that you want your guys to gain the experience, but there does come a time, and I can go back to Anders Carlson. It can't just be blanket. Well, we have to let this guy develop. There is also a time where it ain't about development no more. You want to be urgent about what you're doing, it's got to be about now. And that's a tough needle to thread, because you have young players, you want to see them grow, and you want them to grow up quick, right? And Jordan Love grew up quicker than I think he thought. And then that year is kind of railroaded a little bit because you had a kicker that you were hoping could develop into the guy, and he's missing kicks and costing you games in a year you could have maybe won a Super Bowl. So how do you balance the young players that you love and want to develop and not have those veterans that can, make the big plays and the big moments? And it's not 35-year-olds. It's 27 and 28-year-olds. Most players are in their prime from 25 to 28. The elevator years, as I call them.
You do call them that.
And you have to pay to get there. And then some guys will hang out in that penthouse for a while. Devontae's a penthouse guy. You decide, we got to let these young guys develop or however you want to shake it out. And you're missing out on some of those core years. You miss out on a championship run because, these young guys, they didn't develop as quickly. And all of a sudden, guy runs a route the wrong way and it gets picked and the season ends. Like, that's what Goody's having to battle with. And on the whole, he is 100% right. I always want to skew younger.
I agree.
I always want to do that.
Yeah.
But I really think the John Runyon case and the Sean Ryan case, don't let your chase of perfection at every spot be a detriment. And then you have to go out and what do you think Goody would have rather had? And again, I can't tell you what John Runyon, I didn't watch the film of the Giants. Hopefully they're recruiting a defensive back and Jason will go and watch all that film. But
you're such a jerk.
Sometimes having somebody making $9 or $10 million a year that is a good, steady player ain't the worst thing in the world compared to then having to go pay somebody $28 million in guarantees, and you don't know how healthy he's going to stay.
Well, and here's the problem, and this is why those two
tough paradigm.
This is why those two questions were related, because if you're not re-signing a lot of guys, your point about the elevator years, if guys enter the league at 21 or 22 most of the time now, right? That means
Getting
21,
older,
22, 23, 24, 25. Second contracts are generally where your prime is based on the numbers you just gave, 25, 26, 27, 28. And again, those guys, you don't have to be 30 to have sufficient experience. But do you really think that the meltdown that they have, I mean, first of all, I don't think they give up 25 fourth quarter points if they have Edger and Cooper and Micah Parsons on the field. I just don't. You can tell me that I can't use injuries as an excuse. Certainly Goody told me that yesterday. We'll get to that. But I don't know how you look at where this team is and not think, okay, we need some guys that have been there and done that. Because, it's great that they don't have their growth stunted by having someone in front of them that's experienced. But when the rubber hits the road, you need people that have been there. And when you hit adversity in a game like against the Bears, they had no one that was there to make sure, hey, we're going to be all right. Take a deep breath. We're fine. Because they were never fine. Right? Mm-hmm. And that, I think, is a factor of, hey, we want these guys to grow through their growing pains, and then they're going to be good play. I get it. I agree with him for the most part. I'm not saying that they need to change their philosophy. I'm saying I don't understand. You don't need.
You want them to alter it, though.
I do
want them to alter it.
I think there is a value in having some guys that have the big game experience that are in their second contract or toward the end. Like, what big game experience they have on their team? I mean, even Josh Jacobs, who, by the way, we'll get to him, but I got flashbacks immediately when he answered the Josh Jacobs question to, absolutely. Are you going to keep Aaron Jones? Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to have him on our team. And then days later, he's not on your team. So I had flashbacks with his answer about Josh Jacobs. But what big game experience does Josh Jacobs even have in the NFL? He played for a team that had one playoff appearance while he was there. Like, there's no guys like that on this team. None.
I don't know. I mean, obviously, experience is nice, but experience doesn't win you. It's not the end-all, be-all. It's more about how are you going to perform in the big moments, and I am always going to want the more talented yeah, I don't want a ton of rookies out there, no doubt about it. But I also, and I don't think this is what you're advocating for, but I don't want to have a bunch of semi-washed coach types
not what
in
I'm
my
asking
room.
for. Nope.
Okay, well, and I think that's probably how Goody read that when you asked that question. It is about the interesting dynamic that Goody has is he always wants to go younger, but who deserves the second contracts? He has been very stingy handing those out. And I do believe you're going to win the most when you have your core group, the crafts. If it's going to be Xavier McKinney, who's going into, his 6th or 7th year. If Edgerrin Cooper's getting into his 4th and 5th year. That's in your window of, oh, baby, we got our guys all lined up together, which is what he wanted. That was his vision. And I think the process sped up, which was great. But in the time of that process, if you didn't keep up as a young player, deuces. And that's why he's dabbled in the free agency pool a little bit more. And I think that can go one of two ways. And I still believe that connectivity that I talk about with college players, in-state Wisconsin kids, whatever it might be, I think there is a great value in that when you have someone that is drafted and only knows your organization and bleeds it. When you bring guys in on free agent deals, they love it because they got paid, but do they bleed it the same as a draft pick? I'm telling you they don't. And there is some value to that. What that value is, that's up to y'all to decide. But I know this. If you're with a company and they treat you well, you're going to care more than if somebody just plucks you away and gives you a big fat check. That I know.
You also know that when you get those big fat checks, you deposit them at UW Credit Union.
But for every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here forever. You proudly serving Wisconsin for over 90 years. They're going to help you reach your financial goals. And people always ask me, what is it about UW Credit Union? First off, in the community everywhere. They love keeping their banking local, member-first service, and great perks. And Bucky, that cute rascal. I haven't seen Bucky in a while, so me and Bucky, we're in a great spot. How do you say no to that pretty face? You love Wisconsin like I do. Can't pay with anything else. Fandom. Well, it makes you do crazy things, but joining UW Credit Union just makes sense. Become a member today. Get your Bucky card like I did. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions do apply.
We'll continue our conversation next. It's Wilde Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
The UW Credit Union member, Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member-first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Courtney Cronin.
I don't feel like this Super Bowl is being billed for what it should be, which is a matchup between two teams that you might not have expected to be here, but are two teams standing right now for good reason. The Patriots defense gets all of the credit. I understand that. They have been incredible. But Drake May, despite being sacked 15 times, is still a very good quarterback. So much so that he's an MVP caliber candidate right now. And on the other side of it, we talk so much about this new dark side unit. That's what their defense is being billed as, the new Legion of Boom, the dark side. But offensively, what we're seeing from Seattle is something that just started to come alive. They finally have a run game. Sam Darnold isn't turning the ball over. Jackson Smith-Njigba, who's been terrific all season long, has taken his game to the next level. So I want those storylines being talked about, not just, this is a ho-hum Super Bowl. Guys, it's the Super Bowl.
For 100 days, I'm going to cross the 7 continents because the answers to everything important are out there at the edges of our world. I'm stepping into the unknown.
Where are we going?
To see our planet.
This is amazing.
as it's never been seen before. From pole to pole.
Pole to Pole with Will Smith from National Geographic. Now streaming on Disney Plus and Hulu.
Show me the way.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Hey, this is Jason Wilde from Wilde Tausch. Valentine's Day is almost here, and Racine Danish Kringles has you covered with their heart-shaped Kringle. You know my family loves Kringle from Racine Danish Kringles, and sometimes they share it with me. Racine Danish Kringles offers a heart-shaped Kringle with pink icing in raspberry, chocolate silk, cherry, and pecan flavors to send to your loved one. Order at Kringle.com or call 800-4DANISH. Racine Danish Kringles, the official pastry of ESPN Wisconsin. It's not just a treat, it's a tradition.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Game Night, so for Events by Design. Events like appreciation parties and retreats can go a long way towards boosting morale and retaining top talent. Events by Design is your go-to creative partner for employee events that truly make an impact. They help leaders retain top talent by making their people feel seen, valued, and celebrated. The creative team at Events by Design does all the planning and production, making sure things not only look great, but also work. Make a smart investment in your culture today. Search online, Events by Design. They design, you party.
Come grow with us at Glenroy. For more than 6 decades, our family-owned company has built its reputation on quality, reliability, and providing strong career opportunities in our community. As the packaging industry rapidly grows, so does Glenroy. Here, you'll find competitive wages, a clean, modern workspace, fully vested 401k, yearly bonus award, and the chance to build a manufacturing career with purpose. Apply today at glenroy.com/careers. That's GLENROY.com/careers.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Let's hear exactly what Brian Gutekunst said about special teams. Hear it from the general manager's mouth. That was not my question, but here is his answer.
You know, I really think over the last 4 or 5 years, we've probably put more emphasis on than we ever have. You know, I mean, certainly when I was working for Ted, which was always funny because Ted was a special teams guy, but we were never really going to have a player that was strictly a special teams guy. He had to play a position and have a major kind of role or a developmental role as a position player on offense or defense. I think when Rich got here, the way I think about him and the faith that I have in him, there was a lot of discussions, and we certainly have added a lot of those kind of guys that are just more special teams oriented players, and we improved. You know, we've gotten a lot better. So. I have a lot of faith in Rich and what we're doing there. I think that last game, obviously, we missed some kicks. Brandon had made 32 straight going into that game, so we certainly didn't see that coming. But we got to be better in those situations.
Tausch?
Is that accurate? Did he make 32 straight?
I have not fact-checked that because I didn't write the special teams story yet.
That feels wrong to me. It doesn't feel
extra
right.
points.
Maybe extra points.
Extra points included. Yes, that it absolutely must include extra points.
Okay, because it doesn't feel right to me. But I'm not going to call Goody a liar. It just doesn't feel right. Somebody should have followed up there and just said, "Well, what are the metrics that you see are getting better?"
Yeah,
listen, it's always easier from the cheap seats, Ricky, but I don't see that.
Ricky.
And
Ricky.
Listen, man, Goody puts hundreds of hours. I respect the heck out of everybody that works in that business because it is a grind. But as an analyst, I just am looking at it, and I don't see it that way. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I see what other teams do. And I look at where we are ranked. I look at the eye test tells me. Every time that someone punted us the football, I thought, oh, God, just catch it. And I've had way too many times in my 10 years of doing this that I felt that way. You never feel like anything positive is going to happen on punts. So, yeah, I think our punter had a great year. Guess what? He punted on average 3 or 4 games and never even got on the field. And then when he did, it was 1 or 2 punts. So, that's great. That's awesome that he's been good. Love it. Let's get some other things moving in the right direction. Let's not give away games early in the season because we can't protect a field goal. And to Bisaccia's credit, and I'm not giving him a ton of credit, as you can tell, they did fix the field goal. They did. There were no block kicks, I don't think. You can correct me if I'm wrong. But I just don't see the metrics that Goody is seeing over the 4 or 5 years. That doesn't mean he hasn't put a ton of energy and resources into trying to get special teams better. I mean, they went out and paid the highest amount for the best special teams coach available. And I think that was part of the investment. And if you're looking at it, this has not been a blue chip stock. It hasn't. This has been, I'd have to take a long look at stocks that have, in the last 4 years, dipped off tremendously. I don't have one off the top of my head. I will talk to my friends at Annex, and they can give me a stock that has dipped. And I hope, if this is one of those dipping stocks, is this one that I would invest in right now? The answer is no. I wouldn't. I don't know how many Packer fans would as we run it back with this same group. Now, if you go get me a big-time return guy, I'll sprinkle. I'll do a little sprinkling. And I think that stock, that could change my whole outlook. And we can talk to Doc Jacobson. We do that next Thursday, as a matter of fact. We got a webinar. And I could ask and see what that might look like. Because right now, that is a stock that is drop. And there haven't even been all that many positive dips up. It's been a pretty steady. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't see it the same way Goody did. I see a lot of resources going in. I don't see, when the earnings calls come up, I don't see a ton of dividends being paid out.
So I would say the sound effects, both Riley there and you, like the guy from Police Academy, great. I would say that their punter is very good. I would say their kicker was good until he wasn't.
He had a bad year. I don't care. He made 32 extra points.
29 straight made kicks over the last 7 games. I guess maybe he made his last 3 in the previous game. I haven't gotten that far into the research. But he made 13 of 13 field goals and 16 of 16 extra points over the last 7 games of the regular season. Then he missed 3 kicks in a game they lost by 4. And I know the weather wasn't great, but that's why you have him, is because he's supposed to be able to deliver there. And he... give Brandon McManus this much, man. He stood in that locker room in Chicago and basically said, I lost the game. And it was the worst performance of his career. I mean, those are his words. So I respect the hell out of him for saying that.
I do, too.
What I would say, and you don't pay attention to this because it's not as noticeable as your own return game, but I would agree with Goody that their coverage units are better. They did not let anything get out of the gate. They didn't give up like a huge return in either. There were a couple, I think there was a 40-yard kickoff return, something like that. But their coverage units are better. And I think that was one of the things he was referring to. But okay. Their return game was abysmal. Again, 2 rookies who'd never done it before, and Romeo Doubs, who it just felt like a bad idea. And that was the best of their terrible options on punt return when they're without Jaden Reed for most of the season. So I want to get into something else because I wanted Goody.
Are you buying their stock? Are you buying special team stock? Well,
it does feel like it's kind of one of those penny stocks that if they can get a returner who can win some games,
you just made a case. Great punter, a kicker that just had a bad day, and their coverage teams are pretty good. So maybe their stock's not as far down as I thought.
Well, the return aspect of it drags them down precipitously. They get nothing from their return game, right? Nothing. Nothing. And short fields make your life a lot easier. You don't have to have a bunch of kickoff. You don't have to have Micah Hyde have 3 punt returns for a touchdown. But if you could get to the other side of the 50 on a few punt returns, that would help. Short fields help. I wanted, because we believe in Trumaning around here, I wanted for Goody to say, here's what I need to do better. And I tried to ask that question, and he gave kind of a nebulous big picture question, and then I said, no, I mean for you personally, which might have been my shortest follow-up of my career. We'll hear what he said coming up after you hear me tell you about Steinhoffels, and you can start 2026 feeling rested, and you can make an impact while you're at it. All January long, which is what we have done now for months, and into February, you can get there and you can support Special Spaces Wisconsin, which is certainly a great charity. They've done a great job with that. Again, I think there's a lot of different neat things that they've got going on right now at Steinhoffels, and including some great sales. But on top of everything else, you can also get in there and celebrate the new year with new sleep. If you're not sleeping great, this is your sign. Right now at Steinhoffels, save up to $1,000. Whew, that's a lot of money. On a Beauty Rest Black adjustable base set, and score up to $300 in Steinhoffels cash. A Queen Beauty Rest mattress, Beauty Rest Black, starts at just $34 a month with their 60-month financing. And when you test rest a Beauty Rest Black, you could win a dream trip to Hawaii. Yeah, Hawaii. Sleep better, save big. Shop in-store or online at steinhoffels.com. We'll get to more from Goody next. It's Wilde Tausch.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. All day, every day, the Carbless talk and text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless talk and text line. This is more. Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
We all experience daily struggles, and with so many concerns to be conscious of, breathing should not be one of them. Mark Tauscher here for Advent, and if you're like me and have had snoring issues, sinus problems, or difficulty breathing, then you'll want to meet the team at Advent. The team of Advent specialists have a few simple steps to help evaluate your individual limitations and get you back to breathing well. Since Advent addressed my snoring and nasal breathing issues, I feel great. I've never slept better, and my wife Sarah is incredibly appreciative. The team of Advent specialists listened to my struggles, found the best solution for me, and customized it to my needs. Take my word for it and go to adventknows.com to learn more about simple solutions to snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems. And schedule your appointment today, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Want your brand to turn heads and win hearts?
Captivate Exhibits can bring your brand to life by transforming lobbies, creating history walls, and beautifying facilities.
For over 32 years, Captivate has been the MVP of trade show exhibits and workplace design and fabrication. Let Captivate craft immersive branded environments that tell your story boldly, beautifully, and with purpose at events and around the office.
Score big by making your next event or your own space unforgettable. Create something legendary by getting started today at CaptivateExhibits.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
I'm very familiar with Gruber Law offices because they're always out in the community.
Gruber Law offices are known to be honest, hardworking.
They're always involved in our neighborhoods.
Gruber Law offices make our community a better place.
They are the best. For nearly 40 years, Gruber Law offices has helped people throughout Wisconsin. If you're injured, we're here to help. One call, that's all.
Wisconsin would not be the same without Gruber Law offices.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
So here is the question I asked Goody about what he can do better. I don't know if we have the follow-up where I try to clarify. But this, I saw we posted this on social media yesterday. Jesse, great job as you drive back from River Falls. But I don't, again, if I'm going to be, it's about the answer, not the question guy. I'm not sure that I succeeded here. In fact, I definitely did not succeed here with this answer.
The extensions say that Ed believes that you and Matt and Russ are the right people. Obviously, the results weren't what you wanted. I would ask Matt this if he was here. What do you feel like you have to do better now that you have a little bit of security to get you to where you want to go first?
Yeah, I think obviously just we got to win the games that matter the most in December and January, right? That's kind of been the tale of the last couple of years. This team's ready to do that, and we haven't done that. So that's kind of the next step. So I think, as you evaluate every season, you're looking at those things. Certainly, that was a strength of ours prior to these last couple of years, was how we finished, and we were playing our best football at the end of the season. We haven't done that the last 2 years. So I think it's a little bit, probably getting a little bit back to basics and just making sure that, again, that we're not missing anything in those areas. But, that's what I would say to that.
I guess more personally, I mean, you took the big swing. I mean, you made a very bold move to go get Micah. When you look at whether it's draft philosophy or free agent, I mean, are there things that you're self-evaluating that you want to do better?
Well, you always do that. I think you always you look at your process, and I mean it's a kind of a yearly, or not yearly, it's like everyday discussion about those things, from the littlest thing to the right colors on our player tags to bigger discussions about how we're building the football team out. Certainly when you get new coordinators and stuff, so you go through some of that stuff too, just looking at how you're going to build the team out each year. But I feel very, very strong about our process and how we build our football teams, and it's been proven here for a long time. So that doesn't mean we don't constantly evaluate it to see how we can get better, how the trends in the league are going. You do that stuff all the time. But like I said, I feel very good about not only our process but the people we have in it.
We have to win the big games down the stretch of the season. That's what we need to do better. Well, why didn't you?
Well, that would have been a great follow-up.
Yeah, we never got an answer on that. And it was asked a variety of ways. In fact, in conjunction with my question, and I saw our buddy Wes Hodkowitz address this because Jennifer, one of our avid listeners, just tweeted me about it. He addressed it in the inbox, the idea that, because Bill Huber followed up on my question about veterans with, is that possibly one of the reasons why you didn't finish games? Is because you didn't have guys that have been in those moments before and could rise to the occasion in those moments. And Goody said, no, I don't think so. I mean, it was the shortest answer of the day. But, again, don't tell me that you need to win games late in the season and you need to close out games. It's kind of like you with solutions. Well, tell me why you didn't. Yeah. Now, I would argue that, again, we can't use injuries as an excuse, but Micah Parsons, the whole enter Sandman thing was because he was a closer. And once he was gone, who were their closers on either side of the ball? Tucker Kraft catches the huge pass on 4th down in Arizona. He was the offensive closer.
Yeah, Matthew Golden was probably the closest closer, and that he didn't quite close up enough.
No, precisely.
So a couple of things within that. I think I can only just go back to my career. There were a few times we started 1-4, battled back. Very rarely, obviously we had some gut punch playoff losses, no doubt. But playoffs is a different animal. I can't think of a time, even when we got trounced by Baltimore, we battled back and won the last game of the season. Now, I know everybody, Mike got fired and ended up with a new staff coming in. But last year, the way the season finished, this is 2 seasons ago, when you're talking about sloppy and not being disciplined, that falls at the coach, man. Like, obviously the players are the ones responsible, but the coach, let me see this here, trim it up. And I know they emphasize it, and that has been, and Goody brought this up, that's been a staple of Green Bay Packer football forever. Especially with the youth movement and the way Green Bay develops and drafts, players from September to December, that's a lifetime in the NFL. You start getting better and better. You should be playing your best ball. And that, to me, Goody needs to ask and answer, Your Honor, why? Why, when you have a young team, you should be developing and playing your best when you have some of those experiences to grow on, and not just a bunch of random. Now, injuries do matter. They do. And you're talking about 3 or 4 of your best players not being available. That matters. But that's 2 seasons in a row. We just lost. Did we lose, 4 in a row or 5 in a row?
5 in a row, including the playoff game. Yeah.
And the year before, what did we lose? 3 in a row? 2 or 3 in a row?
Sloppy.
I think it was 2 in a row. You lost to the Bears and then the Eagles. You need to be peaking and playing your best ball at that time. And the question has to be, I'm Matt LaFleur, and I told you after that Bears game, all you're going to hear all offseason is finish, finish, finish. Finish your workout strong. Finish drills strong. That will be your messaging. I will bet you donuts to dollars. Why aren't we? Because I guarantee you they're not saying, well, let's start fast and then, I don't know, we'll finish however. Like, that's not how it goes. But when you want to win, that's where you're at. And when you're trying to secure a division and you're trying to – it almost felt as if – and I know this isn't what happened, But after we beat the Bears, it was almost as if our confidence maybe was punched a little bit. And then when we went out to Denver, when the injuries happened, the air came out of the balloon, and we didn't have any huffers. We didn't have anybody that was willing to sit there and build that back up. And then you just sat there with a half-filled balloon trying to think you're going to soar over the rest of the NFL? I haven't been to a hot air balloon festival, but I'm pretty sure you want to have a full balloon when you're trying to soar. I don't think you want to be worrying if your basket's going to be dragging grass. I just don't think that's not how you want to finish the season. And unfortunately, we've had a half-blanked air balloon, and we're trying to soar up. That doesn't work like that, and that's why we've had the disappointment we've had. And you need to figure out who are going to be those guys when there's a puncture in it, or when there's something wrong with there's something wrong. We got to fix it, and we got to do it quickly. We can't wait around thinking, oh, all will be fine when the playoffs start, because we've seen it, and it isn't.
You have not been to a hot air balloon festival, but some have said you are full of hot air from time to time. You are not, though, full of hot air when you do your webinars with the good people of Annex Wealth Management.
And next Thursday, I believe that is February 12th, it was such a hit the first time, we decided to run it back just like the Green Bay Packers are running theirs back. We don't have any script. It's going to be me and Brian Jacobson, the good doctor, who, again, he's on all of these, CNBC, Fox Business, Bloomberg, all of the big-time shows. And we're going to talk money, we're going to talk strategy. I have questions. There's been a lot of different things happening within the market. And if you want to just figure out and get just straight answers, nothing else, join us. Events.annexwealth.com. Again, that will be next Thursday, the 12th of February at noon. We're going to be just him and I, and everybody that wants to join. You're able to ask questions in real time. He'll give you the answers. I will have a bunch of questions as well. Again, that is next week. Doc and I with Annex Wealth Management, February 12th at noon. Events.annexwealth.com.
The 10 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes, and we'll have more from Goody, so stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Tired of waking up exhausted? That dad bod weighing you down? Let's get you back to the old you. If your energy, focus, and drive aren't what they used to be, your hormones could be out of balance. At Mentality, we'll dig into what's really going on, then build a personalized, science-backed plan using hormone therapy and peptide treatments to get your brain and your body back on track. So stop telling yourself you're just getting older. Book your appointment now at lowtusa.com. Right now, all new patient labs are covered in your treatment plan. That's a savings of $250. Go to lowtusa.com.
Disney on Ice presents Frozen and Encanto in one exciting family experience. Sing along with Anna and Elsa in wintry Arendelle. And celebrate the power of love, y familia, with Mirabel and Bruno in the show everyone will be talking about, live in your hometown. Coming to Fiserv Forum February 12th through 16th. Tickets on sale now. Visit DisneyOnIce.com for show details.
Experience hot gaming action and a relaxing spa day. Your perfect winter getaway at the island. Book a stay and float package to get both a standard room and a rejuvenating 60-minute float pod therapy session for less than $100. Complement your stay with an elevated dining experience at Horizon Steakhouse and fun on the gaming floor where big wins wait for you. The Island Resort and Casino's stay and float package runs through February. Call 800-682-6040 to book yours today. Certain days and restrictions apply.
Why DIY your frozen pizza toppings when Screamin' Sicilian already went over the top for you? We're talking whole milk mozzarella, heaps of premium meats, a mountain of veggies. Screamin' Sicilian is frozen pizza stacked, no add-ons needed. Mamma mia! Screamin' Sicilian, so loaded with toppings, it's almost cheating. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer section and taste what all the screamin' is about.
This is Brian Balaga. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN.
94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee. A
locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde Tausch begins now. Hey, Riley, how you doing over there? I'm not used to having a producer who never appears on camera and never says anything.
Yeah, I'm doing well. I appreciate you looping me in, but you guys are the experts on this, so I let you cook. I don't feel the need to interject all the time when you guys are making great points. But I did get a caller during the last break. I didn't catch her name, but she asked, and I wanted to ask you this, Jason. Did anyone at the press conference yesterday ask about the extent or the details of Brian Gutekunst's extension from the Packers?
As a matter of fact, someone did.
Well.
Stephanie Sutton of WISN 12 News in Milwaukee asked for the specifics of how many years. And what did I tell you Goody was going to say? I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to get into that.
Shocker.
Not going to get into that. Very, very appreciative. Very grateful that he got an extension. And the importance of continuity, but yeah. As I tried to say, no one was going to divulge that information. Certainly not at a press conference. But if they, again, I look at it as a win that we found out that they got the extensions to begin with, based on previous behavior. That seems like progress. So 3 or 4 extensions down the road for future general managers and head coaches, maybe we'll get the years.
Yeah, so Jason, could you explain why did the Packers do this? Does any other organization have this much secrecy around the extent of their contract extensions?
Yeah, I don't think other teams. I know Tausch got a little riled up about this last week, but I don't know if other teams announce the length of contract extensions of existing general managers or coaches.
That's fair.
So the 5-year deals on the newly hired coaches that get announced, and they're not announced, they're reported by the insiders
teams announce them. I've seen the teams put it out there on their webpage.
Some, but not all. But to Tausch's point, certainly we get that information about new coaches and new places. I don't know how frequently. I don't think the Rams announced how long Sean McVay and Les Snead's extensions are.
Your point on existing contracts, that's fair. Yeah, it's something I'm not going to quibble on anymore. They obviously, it is what it is, and they want to handle their business that way. That's fine. I just want you to at least let us know that they're on your staff and that we're keeping them. That's all. If you don't want to tell us numbers and years, okay. I cry uncle.
Uncle! So we're going to get back to the Packers here. We're going to get back on the clock as well. You have not heard us other than a brief discussion.
What was the tenor of Goody's mood? Was he happy? Was he pissed off about, the season? Was he just, it was blah?
Yeah, he was just sort of there.
That's fun.
Well, hey, showing up is half the battle, or whatever that saying is. So I want to get into the injury discussion because I may have become a little bit exasperated at one point. What my mood was some measure of frustration because I believe that they believe from the top down of Ed Policy, Goody, LaFleur, that they had a Super Bowl caliber team. Not saying that they'd be playing on Sunday, but they had a Super Bowl caliber team, and they lost their 2 biggest stars on a team that doesn't have a ton of stars, and that's why they finished the season the way they did. Because if it's not immaturity, it's not a lack of veterans, it's not a lack of this, it's not a lack of that, it's probably a lack of playmakers. And as I just said in the previous segment, as you heard me say, Tucker Kraft catching a 4th down play in Arizona to go complete that victory and slam the door. I put together a compilation of late game sacks and plays that Micah Parsons
Arizona
made.
was 3-14 this year. So
sure, I get it, but still, the moment is the moment, right?
Totally
Doesn't
agree.
matter who you're playing. And they didn't have either one of those guys. And I was just responding to Jennifer on Twitter. There's no way in God's green earth that if they have Micah Parsons and Edgerrin Cooper, who left the game in the third quarter, that the Packers give up 25 fourth-quarter points to the Bears. I just don't see that
Jason,
as
let me ask you this.
possible.
Let me ask you this.
Yes, please.
Season plays out the exact same way. Tucker Kraft and Micah Parsons are healthy. They lose 5 in a row and blow an 18-point lead to the Bears.
People get fired.
You believe that?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, how it would be hard for me to imagine. They were not. I mean, Goody even said this, and I think it'll be in the answer when we play it coming up here. They were 9-3-1 in Denver. Like, they were cooking, and they had filled the void created to some degree by Tucker Kraft's injury by the return of Christian Watson.
Yeah.
So
no, listen, man. I'm just asking a question, and I don't know the answer to it. And the beautiful part of this job, we'll never know the answer. But I do wonder what Mr. Policy's thoughts would have been had Micah and Tucker been healthy, and you finished the season the same way. I can't imagine we would have. But if that is indeed the case, I tend to agree with you that we'd be talking to a new operation if that is indeed how it played out.
All right, I want to play Goody's answer coming up next. But before we do that, first of all, if you came here for Giannis watch, we have clearly disappointed you.
Yeah, wait till noon. The boys got it covered.
So after we're done here, we will have special programming from noon until 2, and as I learned from Riley Yauk, 2 o'clock Central is the trade deadline. So taking you right up to the trade deadline, it'll be wall-to-wall NBA trade deadline coverage. Obviously, Giannis is the biggest question. I just got an alert from my ESPN app saying the Bucks don't feel pressure to move Giannis before Thursday's deadline, per Jamal Collier. It does not appear it's going to happen, especially based on everything else that's happened at the trade deadline. But we will have full coverage.
I do think Bobby Portis is going to get moved, though.
So move. Maybe they can move a bunch of guys, like Evan Cohen suggested, and start tanking, and then have all these assets to rebuild tomorrow.
What do you mean start tanking?
Well,
what are you talking
they've won 2 in a row.
Good.
Get your facts straight.
Big win last night. Absolutely.
So, again, tune in for the NBA trade deadline show. That starts right after we finish with Gabe Neitzel, Ben Brust, and Alex Strofe across ESPN Wisconsin. All right. I want to play this Goody clip, but before that, and please remember that we have young Riley Yauk, who you really like.
What number?
But at the same
He's
time,
a good young man.
Is a very eager Beaver. He probably wants to set a new world record.
Yeah, what's the
We're
record?
not going new record. No, we're not going to go record today. Jesse was, I think, okay with. I think we were 99 a couple days ago.
Wayne Gretzky.
130 is 130. Well, no, let's go. Let's go 130. I was going to say 200 for 2 o'clock trade deadline. But that doesn't make a ton of sense.
What's the
so
significance of 130?
I don't have any. Give me a better note. Give me something else, and I'm open.
All right, well,
to
you
it.
tell us about IronJock. And
I will.
I'll see if I can come up with a better
As a former athlete, I've worn just about every workout gear there is, and nothing, just like Sinead O'Connor always said, nothing compares to IronJock. Their performance apparel is built to fight sweat, odor, and bacteria, keeping you feeling fresh no matter how hard you work. From the gym to the pickleball court, IronJock will keep you dry, comfortable, and confident. Now through February 10th, our listeners can get 40% off all IronJock orders over $50 with the code SUPER40. I wonder why it's that SUPER40 code, but SUPER40 is the code. 40% off all IronJock orders over $50. IronJock, it'll help you look good, smell good, and keep showing up. Shop now at IronJock.com. And right now is your chance to win not only that great IronJock hat, but you know I'm a sock guy. That is my only way, being a little bigger boned, that I can show my fashion sense is through my feet and with my socks. And IronJock giving away socks and a hat. Caller number?
I was going to try.
Caller 130.
No,
wins an IronJock.
It's perfect. It's perfect because the Packers' odds of winning the next year's Super Bowl are plus 1,300. Completely coincidentally, I was looking that up. So 130, it actually worked out perfectly. It was a great choice. 130, go.
All right, caller 130 to win IronJock socks and hat. Caller 130 at 844-770-3776. Put Riley to work and put yourself to work out with a new IronJock hat and some socks.
I predict that Riley will not be done when we come back from commercial. Good luck. More Wilde Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. Whether it's live or in podcast form, you've heard us on air with all of our shenanigans.
Gabe, I'm throwing some. Why are you throwing? I don't want.
Now see your favorite 94.5 ESPN shows streaming on video.
Made by me, by the way. I hit that microphone like 4 out of 6 times on that.
Subscribe to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and get notified when we hit the air live. Plus, you can watch back any second that you miss and see original digital content too. Watch, listen, interact. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
There's never been a better time to experience Pella in person and get all your questions answered. Join us at the Nari Spring Home Improvement Show, February 13th through the 15th at Wisconsin State Fair Park. Book your in-home consultation at the show and receive a free DesignWorks rendering. Rest easy with Pella's 10-year limited warranty and get 0% interest for up to 48 months. Set your free in-home consultation at PellaWI.com.
It all started with a small storefront and a big promise. Treat every customer just like family. For decades, local families have trusted Sendix to provide the freshest food, the warmest smiles, and a place where community comes first. From generation to generation, we have grown together. Because Sendix is more than just a grocery store. It's home. Thank you for allowing us to serve you for the past 100 years. Here's to the next 100 years. Sendix, your trusted local grocer.
My husband's an animal in bed.
Well, you know.
Not in the fun way. Think warthog. With a chainsaw.
Snoring and sleep apnea affect over 90 million people, and 1 out of 4 couples sleep in separate rooms. Advent can help. We've been Milwaukee's one-stop solution for nasal congestion, snoring, and sleep apnea for over 20 years. Unlike many other practices, we focus exclusively on these conditions, so you get comprehensive care under one roof. Advent's unique approach can help you breathe and sleep better, and many avoid a CPAP. Plus, most insurance is accepted for our effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
Hey, the only animal you want in your bed is your dog.
Advent. Sleep better. Sleep together. Learn how you can improve your life at adventknows.com.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Brewers mini ticket plans for the 2026 season are available now with 6-game, 12-game, and build-your-own plan options. You can pick or build the best plan for your schedule, whether you're gearing up for tailgates under the sun, the thrill of the home runs, or the eruptions of walk-off wins. Brewers mini plans have you covered for the 2026 season with specially discounted ticket rates and more exclusive perks in each plan. Check out all the mini plan options available for 2026 now at brewers.com/ticket plans.
At Citizens Bank,
We believe banking is more than transactions. It's about being recognized and remembered. It's feeling like you're understood and supported along the way. It's the small stuff that says, we know you. Because when your bank gets you, banking just feels better. Citizens Bank. Bank where you belong. Learn more at citizensbankwi.bank/belong. Citizens Bank is member FDIC.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Be foolish enough to doubt young Riley Yauk. AJ, where's AJ from?
Sheboygan.
AJ from Sheboygan wins our IronJock prize pack, and 130 was child's play for young Riley.
Calls were rolling in slower today. It wasn't just full line to line. It was
Tausch didn't sell the socks hard enough, I think. I have some of those socks. They are great.
Yeah.
All right, I want to play this exchange because I mean I may have gotten a little frustrated because look, I don't think there's anything wrong with acknowledging that injuries affected your outcome of your season. I guess there's an unwritten code that I'm not aware of that you can't say that though. Either that or it's just not what Goody believes. I have grown tired of comparing it to 2010 because as good as Mark Tauscher was as a player, as good as Nick Barnett was as a player, as important of a piece as Jermichael Finley was, I just don't see it as an apples to apples comparison of the guys that were on IR for your team that year and Micah Parsons and Tucker Kraft. I don't. That's my opinion. And you're free to disagree. But here is the question about how injuries impacted the Packers' season.
That makes I totally get it in real time, right? Because the games are coming. But in Denver, you're up, 23-14 at the time that Jordan throws the deep ball to Christian, who then ends up leaving in an ambulance, right? And then you lose the star on the other side, Nari without Tucker. After the season is over, is there some rule against you being able to say as a general manager in the NFL, we got screwed by injuries. We had a damn good football team, and it prevented us from getting where we thought we were going to go? Are you just not allowed to say that? Because
it's not like, I don't think it's like that. I just think it's like, I don't know, the mindset. I mean, I got one ring since I've been doing this, and it was a year we had more injuries than I think any other, right? So, like, it's nothing against any of the other teams there, but you never feel like, hey, we can't go win this game. I fully expected where we were in the middle of the playoff game to win that game and be heading to Seattle and win that game. And so again, it's like I think that's the thing that makes this job so as tough as those moments are. It's what draws us a lot to it. It's the competitive nature of it, and I always say it up here, but the roster building is 365, and we're always on top of that stuff. And that's, to me, if you're going to do this in those moments, that's where your leaders better step up and be ready to go. Not only your players, but your coaches and myself included. So, it's those things suck. You never want to lose good players, but it's part of it's the nature of the business. And if you got an answer to get around it, then I'm all for it. But it's just, I've never seen even these two teams that are playing this week, they've had their share of injuries as well, and sometimes it's fortune, sometimes it's the way you're doing things, and you take a look at it all and just try to make the best decisions.
All right, couple things there. First, I liked his answer. I did. I thought it was a pretty decent answer, so I was pleased with that. Second of all, I just want to correct Goody, and Bill Huber had this stat as well. according to one of the injury tracking websites for the NFL, the Patriots were the least injured team in the league, and the Seahawks were the third least injured team in the league. So that matters. And I understand that in real time as the season is going on, you can't go, woe is me, we lost Micah Parsons, we lost Tucker Kraft, we were without Christian Watson for a chunk of the season, we were without Jaden Reed, our leading receiver the last 2 years for much of the season, we had to play our backup quarterback, et cetera, et cetera. I get that. But after the season is over and in the final analysis, I don't think there's shame in just saying, yeah, look, I don't think we give up 25 fourth-quarter points if we have Edgerrin Cooper and Micah Parsons on the field. He didn't do that, and I understand why. But bottom line, Tausch, is as much as people don't want to use it as an excuse, it is an explanation. And it is also a factor in why they brought everyone back. Because there's no way you can feel after a 5-game losing streak, if you're not acknowledging the mitigating circumstances involved with that 5-game losing streak, that you bring everyone back and say, we've got a good team that we think can compete for a Super Bowl again next year. 5-game losing streaks get people fired under most circumstances. I just don't. I don't think there's any shame in acknowledging what I feel anyway is the obvious. Tell me why I'm wrong.
Yeah, that's just. Yeah, that's not how it's not how the world works in professional sports. Like you can know that and understand that, but you don't ever say that because what you don't do is ever give excuses. They can be reasons, and for certain they are, and they're very strong reasons, but. That's not how you get in those jobs. That's not how you keep those jobs, is by feeling that way. And, I'm with Goody. You had an 18-point lead without those guys.
Yep.
You have to win that game. Now, I believe they could have went out to Seattle. I think the buzzsaw that would have hit them would have probably been too much.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows how that game would have shaken out. Sam Darnold had a ripped-up oblique. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of question marks that would have been, and it would have been a great opportunity to go showcase it. Instead, you have a gut punch loss to your rival, and now you're sitting here and you're pondering, well, what could have been, what should have been, and that's always the worst place to be in sports. So I loved Goody's answer there. I thought it was his.
Yep.
Of the clips we've played so far, I think it was his best because.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he's acknowledging, but he's also like nobody cares, man. Tell me how hard you're working. Yeah, that's great. Show me what the results are going to yield.
You're right.
That's just how, and it's not fair, but professional sports aren't fair. You have to be able to overcome things, and I thought his part about leadership and guys stepping up, and I think that is a really fair question. Who did? I think Jordan Love stepped up, and that he played his best ball at the end of the year. Who else did? I don't know. You tell me. For as much as we love Josh Jacobs as a leader and as a guy that's out there competing, stepping up isn't just about words. It's about production. And it's about, hey, follow me. Get on my back. I'd say Christian Watson was pretty dang good in that regard, too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Romeo Doubs did a pretty nice job.
He'll be doing that for somebody else next year. All right, I want to get to what, and I think Jesse, who helped Riley put together our show sheet for today, thank you for your service, Jesse, pointed out correctly, is it seemed that the answer to the Rashan Gary question got people a little bit irritated. I thought the answer was exactly what I expected the answer to be. We'll get to that coming up after Tausch tells us about Prize Picks.
The big game is here. Almost
here.
And there is no better way to cash in during America's biggest sporting event than with Prize Picks, where it always feels good to be right. Prize Picks is the easiest way to play daily fantasy. Build a lineup in under 60 seconds. Pick more or less on at least 2 player projections. Watch the game with even more excitement. And Drake May, 0.5 yards passing. Click more. Got one. Now all you got to do is get another one. Go ahead and look around. We're going to give ours on Friday, which I think is tomorrow. Wow.
It is, last I checked. That is tomorrow, yeah.
You can go ahead and take a look at all of the different options that Prize Picks has, and the options just keep building and building. And new this season, early payouts, if your lineup gets off to that hot start, you'll have the option to cash out before the game even finishes. Great time to start. You've been wondering. We've been talking about this for years. Yeah, I don't know. Do I want to get in? You got a free square, and if you download the Prize Picks app today, you use that code WI for the great state of Wisconsin, you're going to get $50 in lineups after you play that first $5 lineup. Again, that is code WI. $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. And then you have the Drake May 0.5 yards. Click. Prize Picks. It's good
to be right. We'll hear from Goody about Rashan Gary next. It's Wilde Tausch.
Wilde Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
We need to optimize the PID controller for smoother robotic movements. Our data analysis shows a significant correlation between the variables in both control groups.
The test shows you've experienced an acute myocardial infarction.
As you'll see on the syllabus, this course will largely focus on the Mesozoic era.
Get your child the access every child deserves. Enroll your K through 8th grade child by February 28 at Milwaukee College Prep, mkeprep.com/enroll.
For the big game this year, upgrade what's in your cooler. Meet Carbless, handcrafted premium cocktails in a can made with real spirits and big, bold flavor. Zero sugar, zero carbs, only 100 calories, and gluten-free. Carbless delivers bartender quality cocktails that are easy to enjoy from kickoff to the final play. Perfect for watch parties, game day spreads, or packed living rooms. When the food is hot and the game is loud, crack open a cold Carbless. Stock up on flavors like black raspberry, lemon lime, and pineapple before game day. Carbless, full of flavor, ready for kickoff.
Ben Brust here for the Princeton Club. If you're looking for your better tomorrow, you know where to go. It's the Princeton Club. If you're looking to grow, it's also the Princeton Club, because they will cheer for you in all areas of your life. The best way to do that is to start a foundation of having a healthy body, and your growth will start from there. With the cleanest health clubs in Wisconsin, they provide everything for you to reach your goals. Start your better tomorrow today and grow in all areas of your life at the Princeton Club. Join for a better tomorrow.
Grab the dial and crank it up, baby, because Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee is spinning its Winning Hits collection. Over the next 3 months, you could win a share of over $1 million in prizes. On top of thousands in cash and reward play, you could win one of 3 new Ford vehicles in the grand finale drawings on March 27th. Just play with your rewards card to earn entries. Press play on the Winning Hits collection, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Valentine's Day is almost here, and Cousin Subs has the perfect sweet treat. Our limited-time chocolate strawberry shake mixes rich chocolate and sweet strawberry flavor into one creamy, indulgent sip. Share it on a date, or enjoy it just for you. But hurry, it's only available through February 15th. Order in store, online, or in the app today. Cousin Subs, we believe in better.
Imagine working with a contractor that quits halfway through a project or never calls you back when you have questions, or worse, takes your money and you never see them again. Unfortunately, we hear about them all the time. Hi, this is Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, and Siding Unlimited is absolutely not that company. Siding Unlimited has been doing business for 32 years, proving to be an honest, ethical, and forthright company. If you're looking for the honest guys for your next siding, windows, roofing, and doors project, stop by sidingunlimited.com today.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, I mean, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
If you're into muskie fishing, the Muskie Expo is the place to be this coming weekend, the 13th through the 15th, where you'll find an excellent assortment of everything muskies, held at the Washington County Fair Park. Find out more at muskieexpo.com.
Hurt by a truck? Call Gruber Offices. One call, that's all.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Tausch rolls on as we have gavel-to-gavel coverage of yesterday's Brian Gutekunst press conference. This is Steve Prefontaine, by the way. This is Steve.
Oh, nice eyes.
Steve's a good-looking cat now.
Great runner, too, I heard.
That he's licking and sucking your thumb, but that's not
Yeah,
for me to judge.
he thinks he's a dog. We've got a few of those guys around here. We thought Rashan Gary was a dog. We were told he was a dog, right? Then
I don't
he went.
think he got any dogs of the game.
Not this season. Maybe previously. I don't know how long you did that for. But maybe
It's been a couple
early
years now for sure. It's been at least 3 years.
Early in the season, he sacked Aaron Rodgers twice. He didn't get dog of the game in that Steelers game.
A lot of times I don't do. No, Jordan Love, the way he finished the game was the dog of the game.
I thought you were going to say Tucker Kraft, who had the best game of his career that night.
Tucker's a dog. He could be a dog all the time.
Yes, Steve Prefontaine is a runner and a cat. But Rashan Gary, and again, look, in the moment of press conferences, one of my weaknesses is sometimes I hear things, I'm listening, but I don't really hear them through the lens. I guess you don't hear things through a lens, but through the way that I need to react to, oh my gosh, what a terrible answer, right? Sometimes I just don't get the context, or I don't understand in real time how people are going to react. But I do believe that folks took exception, at least some Packers fans, to this answer about Rashan Gary. I remember thinking, what the hell else is he going to say about a guy that's on his team? He's not Terry Pagula getting up there talking about Keon Coleman and talking about what a terrible pick that was, and it was all Sean McDermott's fault, which, by the way, their new coach apparently believes that Keon Coleman's going to be a really good player for him, Joe Brady. But here is how Goody spoke about Rashan Gary.
Yeah, like I said, I expect all these guys in their contract to be back, but we're just getting started into kind of looking how we're going to build out the team for next year. I thought he started out really, really strong. I mean, obviously he had a lot of production early. I think he ended up with 60-some pressures and 7.5 sacks, which that's nothing to. I mean, that's a pretty good production in the National Football League. I did think towards the end of the year he wasn't as productive as he was at the beginning. So certainly that'll be something I'm sure he looks at personally, and we look at as a team, is how we can continue to make sure that his production level is the same at the beginning and the end of the season.
Yeah, he had 7.5 sacks early in the year, and in the final 10 games he didn't have any. So, yeah, his production was less. I don't know why people were irritated by that answer. That seemed like the answer that I fully expected him to say. Now, what are they? What were they expecting?
I'll tell you what. Packer fans wanted to hear, he didn't play well enough at the end of the year, and we're going to find someone else to bookend with Micah Parsons and be more productive for a full season. That's what Packer fans wanted to hear. And, yeah, are you new here? Like, that's not how this works. But Rashan Gary will not be back on this contract.
Agreed.
Now, I don't think you could sit here and say without a percentile that he won't be back. I don't know what his market will be. I don't know how much, where his head's at, if he thinks maybe a fresh start would be good for him.
Sure.
Because he will control the cards here. Goody and Russ Ball will say, well, we need to rework your deal. And he can be like, nah, I'm good. And maybe that's just how it's going to play out. And then he can go somewhere else. And maybe he'll get reinvigorated and, play at a higher level at the back end of the season, because he didn't. And I think one of the guys, he's got a C on his chest, correct? Didn't Rashan have a C on his chest?
Yeah, he's a Pro Bowler last year, and he's a captain this year.
Yeah, and when you talk about leaders stepping up, and I think we all thought after Michael went out that he needed to be one of those guys. And, the whole he's not a high snap count guy, and J.J. Enikbare playing more snaps than Rashan at some points. It just was a tough finish to the season, and a lot of sour feelings. It almost it reminds me a little bit, different but a little bit, of Clay Matthews, because he's getting paid a lot, and people were frustrated that Clay allegedly was hurt a lot. You've always said that he wasn't hurt that much. Mm-hmm. I can understand. He had hammy, he had other issues, but it just is different. So I don't want to equate those two, even though they're both 52. But Rashan Gary will not be back on this deal.
No.
And if you can get him back on a incentive-laden operation, it's just not going to happen. Somebody will pay him, maybe not what he's getting now, but opportunities to be in that ballpark. He's going to be gone, and Green Bay is going to have to either re-sign JJ or hope that Lucas Van Ness stays healthy and plug him out there, which is what I believe they will do.
Mm-hmm.
And then hopefully, put him in that position. To give them that opportunity to showcase what he can do.
So does the old Tauschism about 7th-round picks have to constantly prove they belong in the league? First-round picks have to prove that they don't before they finally are given up on. Does that apply to him? Will someone else say, well, they just misused him and be able to explain away the not a high snap count guy, 10 games without a sack? Like, will they be able to say, all right, we're not going to pay him what he got on his last extension, but if the Packers cut him, we'll give him a pretty good signing bonus, and we think he'll be better with us. Is that possible?
That's more than possible. That's what's probable. And I think that adage is 100% true. Now, what Goody said there about a pretty good season, 7.5 sacks, 60 pressures, that is a good season.
Yeah.
If you spread it out and and it's not as good a season when you think that you had 13 games with Micah. You're getting a lot of one-on-ones. You got to win them, especially you're a captain. You're somebody that is paid very highly to perform. So he is going to get opportunities. And yeah, when you're drafted in the first or second round, your skill set will always believe until you either call it or you've been on three or four teams. The league will continue to give you opportunities that, as a 7th-round pick, you have to scratch and claw, or an undrafted guy. The teams will always believe in the talent. And at some point, the production and what you see on film is what is always going to be the determining factor. But it does take a little bit of time because teams are always hoping. And I would guess the team that picks up Rashan Gary will be hoping, depending on what the dollar amount is, that he can find what he did in that first half of the season and not in the second half.
Hope is not a strategy. It's also a saying that I've heard more than a few times.
Blank in one hand and hope in the other is another one.
Yeah, that one has a lot more is a lot more poignant when you don't use blank, but we can't do that on this here program. All right, it is time for trivia. And I have not in my hand, but on my computer, 3 questions written, not with a quill, he typed them, by Riley Yauk. Riley, tell the people what the category is and what callers you would like.
The category is, because yesterday was National Girls and Women's in Sports Day, it is Wisconsin National Women's and Girls in Sports Day. So it's basically about Wisconsin women's sports. That's the category. And I want caller number 15, because now, after Wisconsin women's basketball lost to Indiana yesterday, it has been 15 years since they have beaten the Hoosiers.
Hoosiers. Caller 15 right now to play trivia, presented by IronJock and by Cousin Subs. Caller 15, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Caller 15 plays trivia and plays it next. It's Wilde Tausch.
Giannis Watch is on.
Big question around the NBA.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. Kyle Broston Northman.
We need the final end here.
Oh, okay. Who you been, bro?
KBN.
Brian Gutekunst is going to have his best offseason of his entire career. I've been thinking about roster development lately and what Goody has in store for him. And I don't see any way this team can become a title contender unless Goody has the best offseason of his whole career.
Kyle Broston Northman. Afternoons from 2 to 5 on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher, and if you're serious about getting more active this year, listen up. The Pickler in Menominee Falls is indoor pickleball, and it's for everybody, whether you're brand new or just trying to move more. Right now, they're offering free learn-to-play clinics every Monday and Saturday at noon. No experience, no gear. They'll teach you everything. So stop talking about your New Year's resolutions and go do something about it. Stop in at the Pickler in Menominee Falls or call the club for more details.
Hey, this is Jason Wilde from Wilde Tausch. Valentine's Day is almost here, and Racine Danish Kringles has you covered with their heart-shaped Kringle. You know my family loves Kringle from Racine Danish Kringles, and sometimes they share it with me. Racine Danish Kringles offers a heart-shaped Kringle with pink icing in raspberry, chocolate silk, cherry, and pecan flavors to send to your loved one. Order at Kringle.com or call 800-4DANISH. Racine Danish Kringles, the official pastry of ESPN Wisconsin. It's not just a treat, it's a tradition.
Disney on Ice presents Frozen and Encanto in one exciting family experience. Sing along with Anna and Elsa in wintry Arendelle. And celebrate the power of love, y familia, with Mirabel and Bruno in the show everyone will be talking about, live in your hometown. Coming to Fiserv Forum February 12th through 16th. Tickets on sale now. Visit DisneyOnIce.com for show details.
Looking up at the Marquette banners, brought to you by Saganiac Planning. Number 15 retired in honor of Butch Lee. He finished in 78, and the number retired the next season. It's hard to believe that any player could ever equal what Butch Lee did at Marquette. Part of the national championship team in 77, and the Final Four MVP, and the next season, the consensus National Player of the Year. So much success, it's not necessary to bring up any statistics. Number 15, Butch Lee, did everything. Running a business means taking care of your team and your bottom line. For over 50 years, Saganiac Planning has helped small businesses build smarter, more affordable medical and employee benefit plans. From health insurance to customized coverage options, our experts make it simple to protect your people and your future. Saganiac Planning, your partner in planning confidence. Visit SaganiacPlanning.com or call John Saganiac Jr. today to get started. 262-783-6161.
It's time for the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart, located at 16th and National in Milwaukee. National Liquor Mart is packed with deals for all your beverage needs, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily.
With Giannis trade rumors swirling, the Bucks picked up their second straight win, a 141-137 overtime victory over the New Orleans Pelicans at Fiserv Forum. Ryan Rollins led the Bucks with 27 points, while A.J. Green poured in 20, thanks in part to 6 3-pointers. Here's head coach Doc Rivers on his message to the team going into the final day of the trade deadline.
I have a day off. Go relax. You know, I'm not going to say much, but I've said what I've said all year, and just no one hears it. So I'll let you guys figure it out from there.
The Bucks will wrap up their 3-game homestand on Friday night against the Indiana Pacers at Fiserv Forum.
This has been the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart. You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
What a special edition. Not only did Riley Yauk write the questions, but it's someone's birthday, and they're the contestants. Time now for Wilde Tausch Trivia, presented by Cousin Subs and IronJock.
Wilde Tausch Trivia is brought to you by IronJock, performance apparel that actually performs. No stink, just performance, and proudly Wisconsin built. Shop now at ironjock.com. And by Cousin Subs. Roses are red, strawberries are too. The chocolate strawberry shake is calling you. Try it at Cousin Subs.
Let's welcome in our contestant and wish him a happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. It is Levi in Plover.
Oh, he's got that new mouse I've been hearing about.
Yeah, I stole it from Jesse.
That was his
Levi,
birthday
give
present.
back the mouse.
What are you stealing mouses for, Levi?
Mouses?
Good morning, guys. How you doing?
Mice? You could say mice.
We're good, Levi. All right, here we go. Question number 1. Wisconsin women's basketball is 11-2 at home this season. Its best home record since 1994-95, when Jason Wilde was covering them. Who is the Badgers' first-year head coach? Is it Robin Pingeton, Greg Gard, or Levi Rahm in the YouTube comments?
I would say the first one, Jason.
You are correct. Robin Pingeton, I think that's how I'm supposed to say her name.
Yep, that's correct.
Question 2, Levi. Which Wisconsin women's sports team most recently won a national title? Is it women's volleyball, women's cross country, or women's hockey?
Could you repeat the question again, Jason, quickly? I didn't hear that part well enough there. Sorry.
I'll be happy to. Which Wisconsin women's sports team most recently won a national championship? Volleyball, cross country, or hockey?
It's totally a guess, but I would say hockey. Like a friend with essentially the second.
Yes.
And what
Nailed
a guess it was. All right, 2 for 2. Big opportunity here, birthday boy, to get 3 for 3. Let's see if you can do it. Question 3 is this. ESPN Madison is home to Wisconsin volleyball. How far did the Badgers advance in the tournament this past season? Did they reach the Sweet 16, the Final Four, or the national championship game before losing?
The Final Four.
Levi, go out and buy a lottery ticket for your birthday, buddy. It's your day today. Well done. 3 for 3. You've got 4 entries into tomorrow's drawing. And if you return Jesse's mouse, we'll deliver your prize pack from IronJock and Cousin Subs if you get the question right. Or if you get picked.
Yeah. Hey, thanks. But Jason, I have a special request for you guys.
I don't do special requests. No, go ahead.
Oh, come on. I wanted to close out the segment for the 11 o'clock hour. Maybe I could do something with Tauscher for what he likes Coors Light for his food.
I'm struggling to. The feedback is a problem. I didn't hear what you said. Can you try one more time?
Hold on a second. Hold on a second.
Please hold.
Love it. I said I wanted to close the 11 o'clock hour to go, like you would do the promo reads,
Okay, so you'd like to tease us out of the 11 o'clock hour.
Yeah, go ahead. Tease us out.
But first, it's time to have a Coors Light. Am I right, Mark? Tausch?
You nailed it, Levi. Absolutely. Get those Blue Mountains nice and blue.
Yes, sir.
Levi, happy birthday, buddy. We appreciate you. Thanks.
Yep. Wilde Tausch will be back in 2 minutes. Stick around.
Look at
See you guys
Levi.
later.
He must have stole Jesse's mouse. He's
that
he's
mouse
pulling
has
up
just
old
changed
show
his
sheets.
life. Indeed. Like Levi said, the 11 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes, so stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, I mean, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
It's time for the Marquette Minute on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Matrix Basements.
Despite holding an 8-point lead at the half, Marquette could not hold off a comeback from Big East foe Seton Hall as they fell 69-64. The loss brings the Golden Eagles to an 8-14 overall record and 3-9 in Big East play. Sophomore Royce Parham was sensational as he had 17 points, 6 rebounds, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. Freshman Nigel James Jr. also chipped in 16 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. Here's head coach Shaka Smart after the loss.
It was choppy. I mean, it was a physical game. Just too many turnovers against a team like Seton Hall. They make you pay, and we turned the ball over 16 times. Yeah. Not good enough.
The Golden Eagles will get a week to rest before returning home to take on Butler for National Marquette Day on Saturday.
Brought to you by Matrix Basements. Visit gomarquette.com/matrix to enter to win 4 tickets to National Marquette Day Saturday, February 7th when Marquette hosts Butler. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now, and it begins... What are you smiling about?
I like to smile. Is that all right?
No.
I scowl? I'll scowl.
You're more of a scowler. I assumed your IT department had come through or something, because that always brings a smile to all of our faces. This, I don't know what reaction this gets. A scowl, a smile, a shrug, another S word that I'm not coming up with right now. But we have breaking news from another S word, Shams Charania of ESPN.
Oh, baby, now this is some breaking news.
The Milwaukee Bucks.
Oh, God!
Have indicated to teams throughout the National Basketball Association that they are keeping Giannis Antetokounmpo through the trade deadline.
9 o'clock. Told you that yesterday.
You did. You done did it. Keeping him through the NBA trade deadline, and will start making other trades, sources tell Shams Charania. And then Brian Windhorst.
Oh, Windy,
a source off, as you like to call it. Bucks could. So I don't know about could.
This is you. I mean, this is what you media folks do, man. Cover. Cover that keister.
I'm not an insider, though.
Yeah, you do this. You literally do the same thing that he's doing.
The Bucks could shut down Giannis for the rest of the season.
No, the answer should be have to, not should. They must.
Should instead of could, if you will.
Must.
How is should different than must?
Must is stronger.
Will they?
Yes. Yes.
What a weird world we live in.
What is weird about it? Giannis is hurt. We ain't making the playoffs.
Yeah, no.
We're gonna probably trade. We're gonna probably trade him this summer.
Yeah.
And if we don't, we want him
right.
healthy, and we don't want. We have our pick this year. We want to be as stinky as we can be, so that even if the Hornets or whoever has our pick, it might be the Hawks. At
the
least
Pelicans.
the other, hopefully,
the Pelicans.
The Pelicans stink too. Good thing we beat them last night. So we'll at least, hopefully, both of us, we get the worst of the two. Hopefully, we both stink and we're 1-2, and then maybe that'll help keep Yanni.
Yeah.
But I think it is time. It's time. Appreciate you, Bobby. You helped us win a championship. You're an awesome dude. You were great doing stuff in the community. But let's trade you. Let's trade Kuz. Let's trade Turner. It is time. Let's let it rip and let's get some picks. Let's go.
We can't trade Kyle Kuzma. He's our ambassador to Europe. Oh, Kuzma. Not that Kuz. Different Kuz. And acquire Bob Cousy. All right.
Whoa,
so now,
and more breaking news. The Bucks already
Let's go!
They already made another trade. According to Shams Charania, the Bucks have agreed to trade Cole Anthony and Amir Coffey to the Phoenix Suns for Nick Richards and former Badger Nigel Hayes Davis.
Let's go. All right.
Tausch,
is the hyphenated thing, is that new?
Yeah, that's new. That was after he left college.
Better known as Nigel Hayes during his time. Is he now one of the other Davis brothers? Along with Johnny Davis? Can we get John? Don't we have Johnny Davis? Isn't he with the G League Bucks? The Herd? I think we might. Or at least we did.
I don't know.
Tausch, give me the breakdown. What do we lose by giving up Cole Anthony and Amir Coffey?
I believe the game I was at, he had a nice night. But
I think you're right, actually.
I'm all right with this move. That's my analysis. It's not moving the needle for Old T.
Wait, you were very excited. You even kind of gave that arm pump that you do when you really get excited.
We need to move some of the big money guys out and start collecting assets. That's what we need to do.
Are you dealing Miles Turner? Because that was what Evco justified.
Yes, and get a first back for him. Absolutely, we're trading him.
All right. So as of this hour. No offense to the two Bucks that have just been traded, or to Nigel Hayes Davis, who is returning to our fine state. Now, it could be another one of those Sam Decker trades where remember when Sam Decker was a Buck, the Sam Decker era?
Yeah.
Which lasted about 45 minutes. It lasted longer than the Packers had both Josh Jacobs and Aaron Jones in their backfield. But it was brief, so this could be just a pit stop for Nigel. But they've informed teams they're not trading Giannis today, and then they made some other trades. We'll see if there are others coming. Again, you will get full coverage from 12 until 2 on our NBA trade deadline special across ESPN Wisconsin with Alex Strofe, Gabe Neitzel, and former Buck Ben Brust. Those will all be they'll be talking it through during the 12 to 2 window, leading right up to the deadline.
Yeah, I hope throughout that there's at least one of the 3 guys I just mentioned are traded for a first-round pick or something of some future ramifications. I would hope that's what happens, and I wouldn't mind at all if it was a complete decluttering of our roster, because this roster needs to be decluttered.
Meanwhile, this is not necessarily breaking news, but it is news. We heard from Riley Yauk earlier in the program. referencing that Ryan Mahaffey, the Packers wide receivers coach, was going to Philly along with Sean Mannion, who has become the Eagles' new offensive coordinator, and hopefully he'll be treated better than Kevin Padullo, who had his house egged by Eagles fans.
That staff is blowing up. That staff is blowing up, and I'll make a prediction right now. Philadelphia have a new coach this time next year.
Can you hold up the "I agree with Tauscher"? Tausch was right. Part of your 3D printed.
I'm going to agree with myself.
Thingamajig?
No, I'm not going to.
No, I'm agreeing with you.
I'm not that arrogant that I'm going to agree with myself.
No, I was asking you to hold it up for me because I don't have one of those. Your brothers were mad at me about the movie
thing. That's not going to
thing.
Illustrate what it is. This is a TV show.
Well, we're both
too,
on the screen at the same time.
So then I'd need an arrow pointing at you with the Tausch was right.
Well, you could
now this just looks like this looks super arrogant by me. Like, Tausch was right. He's putting up a Tausch is right sign? No.
I think we could probably go into the video archives and find a few instances.
I don't think so. Now, I've disagreed with my own take. Now, that's a rarity.
That's one of my favorites, actually.
I think when you saw the news yesterday that their much-loved offensive line coach was whatever. It sounds
stepping
like
away,
he was demoted or felt disrespected last season. There's a lot of Packer fans, I'm sure, in your mentions and out there right now that are saying, hey, our O-line stunk last year, didn't play well. It might not be the worst thing in the world to bring in an old vet that's had a lot of success with his O-lines in Philly and maybe help develop some of this young talent. Maybe that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. And I'm sure there's a lot of Packer fans that are hoping that is indeed the case because I think the Philadelphia Eagles still control his rights. So I doubt they would let him out of it, but I don't know all the logistics of that.
Meanwhile, another offensive assistant coach change. So the new, per Bill Huber of Sports Illustrated, the Packers' new wide receivers coach is someone named Noah Pauley. And he happened to coach earlier in his career one of the Packers' wide receivers, a young fellow, you might know him. He goes by the name of Christian Watson. He was his position coach at North Dakota State once upon a time. He was most recently at Penn State, and now he will be the new wide receivers coach for the Packers. I am getting a lot of this feedback both in the YouTube comments and the and Twitter. There is a measure of frustration among Packers fans that the only changes that occur on this staff are new people to replace old people that left, that were not fired, but they just left. Again, we've talked about Matt LaFleur. He doesn't like to fire people. He's loyal to a fault, etc. Do you think that this is a reason to be irritated as a Packers fan, that they are not making any changes that they are forcing to occur?
Yes. I'm not going to say I'm shocked, but it feels as if we're this is where we're at. I don't think there are going to be any letting go of people. I don't know whose contracts maybe they expired. We don't know about it because they do a great job of keeping that stuff secret.
Indeed they do.
But the fact that you had Goody as adamant yesterday about the offensive line, and I know everybody loves Rich, and he's a culture coordinator, Indeed. But the fact that we have just said, yeah, the special teams are good, we're improving, we're doing better. I totally understand fans' frustration. I feel the same way. And I don't know, it's one thing if it's one season and you've had 30 years of monster success. That's not been the case, man. And for you to kind of just say this is what it's going to be, yeah, I can understand why fans are frustrated. Totally understand it.
Yeah. All right, so I want to give Riley more time than we give to Jesse for Will Riley.
If Stoutland comes and says, you know what, man, I really want to go to Green Bay, does Green Bay make it happen?
So would they have to give up? Would they have to give up a 7? Like there's compensatory 7th? Would that be enough? I mean, he clearly doesn't want to work for Sirianni anymore.
No, he's done with the Eagles and the Sirianni. 5th round pick. Would LaFleur want to do that? Does LaFleur want to make a move?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times everybody wants to make all these moves, right? Well, that's great, but you have to have somebody that you know is going to be a lot better. You can't just hope. But then there's also the part of this isn't up to our standards, and we're not going to just run it back.
Right.
And I think that's where the fans' frustration comes from. And frankly, for me, especially on the special teams side of it, I get it, man. And until things change, if you get beat again next year because your special teams makes errors and doesn't do anything, I'm sorry, that falls on y'all. You have decided this is what we're – and what are we going to do if the O-line doesn't get any better? Are you going to say, well, Goody didn't bring in enough players? Didn't bring enough guys in? Or are you going to say we didn't coach them up well enough? I want it to be where we're at least trying some different things to get different results. I'm not here to ever advocate to fire people.
No, I know.
But this is a big boy business, man. And Lord knows if somebody's playing poorly, they gone.
Yeah.
And they'll get gone in the middle of a season. You are judged by how your units play. That's it. It shouldn't be about, well, he plays a hell of a game of canasta. That's great, but it's about how your units play. And if you want someone to be a culture coordinator, hire him as a culture coordinator. I'll guarantee you the Packers will be more than happy staffing if you think they're going to help you win. I've told you this 100 times. You can critique the Green Bay Packers in a lot of ways. When people are trying to call them cheap, no. They will spend to give you no excuses as players, coaches, administrators. They're saying, what do you need? This will help you win. Here it is. And if they think that Rich Bisaccia is a great culture coordinator and Matt LaFleur thinks we need a little different voice as a special teams coach, I assure you they will do it. But that doesn't seem to be what the road this is going to be.
We will, again, wait and see, but it sure feels like we're past the point of any sort of meaningful staff changes. That is undeniable. I want to get to one moment from yesterday with Goody that I really enjoyed. And I think you will too, because it's about the guy that drafted you once upon a time. We'll get to that coming up after I tell you about Associated Bank. I mean, Ron Wolf's roots in Green Bay run deep. He brought this franchise back from the brink. 30 years of wandering in the wilderness. You know what? Associated Bank was with the Packers back then, too. They've been with the Packers since the beginning, and that kind of loyalty extends to their loyalty to you as a customer. That's why they've got the best customer service in the industry, and they've got the awards to prove it. And on top of that, you can show your Packers pride with Packers checking, or with your Badgers checking, or with your Brewers checking. I wonder if they would do special Wilde Tausch checking. I don't think we're quite at that level just yet, but they have been with us from the beginning, and we love our partnership with them. They've been great, and you're going to love banking with them, just like Paula and I and the girls do. So go to AssociatedBank.com to find out more. We will hear from Goody about Ron Wolf, and then we'll get to Whoa, Riley. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Breaking Bucks news on ESPN Milwaukee. Giannis Antetokounmpo is staying with the Bucks. React to the news here on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Looking for a delicious meal without breaking the bank? Cousin Subs has you covered. Our $10 meal deal gives you a 7.5-inch ham and provolone, turkey breast, or veggie sub piled high with fresh hand-sliced ingredients, crisp veggies, and all your favorite toppings. Add a bag of chips, a regular fries, a fountain drink, and a cookie, all for just $10. This deal's available online or through the Cousins app only. And you can enjoy your meal at home, at work, or delivered straight to your door, hot and fresh. Cousin Subs. We believe in better. Available at participating locations. Offer subject to change.
February means big savings at Exterior Pros and Baths. Upgrade your home with energy-efficient windows, durable roofing, new siding, or a beautiful bath makeover and get $3,000 off your project. That's $3,000 in instant savings, but only for a limited time during our February winter savings event. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com now. Exterior Pros and Baths. Big savings done right.
We love the Packers. We bleed green and gold. And every time our team takes the field, well, it's pure football bliss. If only there was a way to experience that blissful winning feeling every day. At Associated Bank, we've got you. With 10% off Lambeau concessions and 15% off Pro Shop merch. All when you get Packers checking from Associated Bank. It's how Packers fans keep winning on game day and every day. Associated Bank. Bank of the Packers. Learn more at associatedbank.com/Packers. Member FDIC.
Mark Tauscher here for IronJock. As a former athlete, I've worn just about every type of workout gear there is, and nothing compares to IronJock. Their performance apparel is built to fight sweat, odor, and bacteria, keeping you feeling fresh no matter how hard you push. From the gym to the pickleball court, IronJock keeps you dry, comfortable, and confident.
And from now through February 10th, our listeners get 40% off all IronJock orders over $50 with the code SUPER40. IronJock helps you look good, smell good, and keep showing up. Shop now at IronJock.com.
Hey, this is Jason Wilde from Wilde Tausch. Valentine's Day is almost here, and Racine Danish Kringles has you covered with their heart-shaped Kringle. You know my family loves Kringle from Racine Danish Kringles, and sometimes they share it with me. Racine Danish Kringles offers a heart-shaped Kringle with pink icing in raspberry, chocolate silk, cherry, and pecan flavors to send to your loved one. Order at Kringle.com or call 800-4DANISH. Racine Danish Kringles, the official pastry of ESPN Wisconsin. It's not just a treat, it's a tradition.
Disney on Ice presents Frozen and Encanto in one exciting family experience. Sing along with Anna and Elsa in wintry Arendelle. And celebrate the power of love, Y Familia, with Mirabel and Bruno in the show everyone will be talking about, live in your hometown. Coming to Fiserv Forum February 12th through 16th. Tickets on sale now. Visit DisneyOnIce.com for show details.
Come grow with us at Glenroy. For more than 6 decades, our family-owned company has built its reputation on quality, reliability, and providing strong career opportunities in our community. As the packaging industry rapidly grows, so does Glenroy. Here, you'll find competitive wages, a clean, modern workspace, fully vested 401k, yearly bonus award, and the chance to build a manufacturing career with purpose. Apply today at glenroy.com/careers. That's GLENROY.com/careers.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Super Bowl 60 is Sunday in Santa Clara, California, between the Seahawks and the Patriots. The Seahawks general manager is John Schneider. This is their 3rd Super Bowl appearance since he took over in 2010. The Patriots general manager is Elliott Wolf, who took over 2 years ago with the actual title. He's been there a little while longer, but the actual GM title he received before last season, the 2024 season. What do they both have in common besides having grown up here in the greater Green Bay area? They both worked for the Packers, and they both worked under Ron Wolf. Both got their opportunities under Ron Wolf. And so did Brian Gutekunst. He was an intern in 1997 that Ron hired. 1998, he went to Kansas City for a bit with John Schneider, and then John Schneider came back, and so did he. And now those two are in the Super Bowl. But Brian Gutekunst is close with both of them. And I asked him about Ron Wolf's impact And here's what he said.
I know you'd rather be getting ready for Sunday's game than talking to us. And Schneider and Elliott are getting ready for Sunday's game.
That's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, I talked to Ron for a while yesterday. When you think about all the guys that have come from his time here, including yourself, what was 97? You were an intern, right?
Yeah, 97. So camp 97, yeah.
I mean, and I know you've tried to carry that on. You've had a bunch of success, but what does that tell you about Ron, and what does it tell you about this place?
Yeah, I think, one of the coolest things that's ever happened to me in my football career was just kind of stepping into that world with all those guys, Scott McLuhan, Reggie McKenzie, John Dorsey, Ron, Ted. And I didn't know it at the time. I knew they just won the Super Bowl and they must be pretty good. But to learn from those guys and kind of soak that in, and they were so confident at the time. They had so much faith and belief in what Ron was doing and the system that it was just really easy to buy into. And, then I spent a year in Kansas City with John. It was a different system, but John was kind of trying to take what they were doing in Green Bay and implement it in Kansas City a little bit. And then I came right back. And, it's again, it's really cool to see. I mean, I really normally, if we're not in it, I could care less about that game and hope they both lose. But in this one, I just know no matter what the outcome is, I'm going to be really happy for that person, and that's just it's just a really cool thing for the guys that come from kind of that have been with Green Bay, have come through that process, are still really close. There's guys throughout the National Football League on all kinds of other teams. Dorsey used to call it the mothership. This place is a mothership, and you all have a sense of pride coming from that process. That's the way I've always looked at it, and it's one of the best things that's ever happened to me career-wise.
I know you've talked about this before, Tausch, in our 10 years together, but again, I'm just curious, what does Ron mean to you, given the opportunity that you received from him? You took advantage of it, and you built an 11-year NFL career, but just like Barry Alvarez realizing what you could do in the 1999 season, what did Ron mean to you?
Well, he means a lot, and obviously I was able to go out to his Hall of Fame induction out in Canton, and I think any time someone in a position of power gives you that opportunity to just do what you've trained to do your whole life, you have a huge debt of gratitude to that person. And along the way, you want to make them right. Because they went out on a limb for you, and it was a 7th-round pick. And if my career fizzled, would that have changed Ron Wolf's life? No, it wouldn't have. But I always appreciated how he operated. He was not one of these ivory tower guys where it was like, oh my God. He would sit down and have breakfast with you. You could have conversations with him. He had such a great wit. You'd have fun conversations, but you always knew who was in charge. Mm-hmm. And for me, I love having conversations with him now. When I do get a chance to see him, he's somebody that I hold in incredibly high regard because, this sounds crazy. He changed my life. And who knows what would have happened if it was somewhere else. But I owe a huge debt of gratitude for him believing in me, for coming down to Madison and watching me kick a football around like a soccer ball, and that parlaying his belief, and then being able to go out there and play for a long time. It like I said, man, it changed my life, and I owe him a ton of thanks, and I make sure to always tell him that whenever I see him.
And he is 89 years old and still extremely sharp. Like, our conversation was great. I mean, it was so much. It was really interesting. He was funny. He is a treasure. And, again, I was talking about this with Alex Strofe today. Like, he's a young fella, right? Like, most of his time being alive is after Ron stepped away before the 2001 draft, essentially. But I hope, that Packers fans that are too young to remember not just the wandering in the wilderness of the 70s and 80s, but also too young to remember those 90s teams. They don't get the acclaim that the Lombardi years do, and I get it. but he resuscitated this franchise with everything he did. And him and Bob Harlan hiring him changed the course of a lot of people's lives, not just yours. And we're,
Brian Gutekunst's life, Ted Thompson's life,
John Schneider writing those letters
that's
to him.
One of the really cool things. And whether you're a coach, but what is awesome about this Super Bowl, and I know it's the least buzz Super Bowl, and all of those things can be true, but I love the fact that you said Ron's 89. This is a great example of how you can do things and the ripple effects just continue to go out.
Mm-hmm.
Think of all of the lives that Ron Wolf has affected, including obviously his sons, but the NFL as a whole. I mean, his branches of his tree, they're everywhere. And would Green Bay have the sustained success? Because Ron retired in 2001. We've had a lot of success since. We didn't have any success. Yeah, take a look at Lombardi. Lombardi, I don't know his tree. Great coach, obviously. But Lombardi left, and things dried up. Ron Wolf left, and you're talking about a mothership. You're talking about GMs everywhere. You're talking about a system that all of these guys still refer back to around the entire league. That is a hell of a legacy, man. And I'm sure Ron is, I don't know if he's basking in it this week because I know how he operates, but he certainly should be because, you get a lot of times it takes, for all of us, when Ted, unfortunately we heard the news that Ted passed away, it took that to kind of for everyone to, tell their stories and everything else. Mm-hmm. It's pretty cool that everybody now, that Goody and I'm sure John out in Seattle and I'm sure Elliot are able to tell their stories about a great general manager, but just a great character in the game of football and a huge impact that he has left on, I can't count how many people. That's a hell of a legacy for a young man that's 89 years old.
Extremely well said by you. We will get to Will Riley next. By the way, Ron is traveling to the Super Bowl. He's leaving today. He and Edie will be there to see it in person, and he did not make it up
for.
I think he'll be happy.
Does he not have a dog in that fight?
I think he'll be happy for John Schneider if he wins, but not as happy as he would be for his blood is thicker than Packers connectivity.
I would hope so.
But not by a huge margin, but certainly by a margin. Will Riley next. It's Wilde Tausch.
This is
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
There's never been a better time to experience Pella in person and get all your questions answered. Join us at the Nari Spring Home Improvement Show, February 13th through the 15th at Wisconsin State Fair Park. Book your in-home consultation at the show and receive a free Design Works rendering. Rest easy with Pella's 10-year limited warranty and get 0% interest for up to 48 months. Set your free in-home consultation at PellaWI.com.
Hi, I'm Brittany Miller from Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more. Custom T-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, hats, you name it, we can do it. Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more is family owned and all about celebrating life's big moments. Maybe it's a milestone birthday, a celebration for your child's first goal, or that work fundraising event. We are everyone's printer. No minimum orders, affordable designs, and help straight from me and our team. We're the one-stop shop for all your custom needs. Start your project today at bigfrog.com/Mequon.
UW Credit Union presents the Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org.
With your UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, I'm Will Summers. This week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week is Altoona Junior Grayson Becker. One game after joining the 1,000-point club, Becker delivered another eye-opening performance, pouring in 44 points in a win over Ellsworth. He finished the night 14 of 19 from the field and added 8 rebounds, continuing a stretch of play that has defined his standout season. Becker has been one of the most productive scorers in the state, averaging 26.3 points per game, along with 3.5 rebounds and 3.3 assists. With growing Division I and Division II interest, Becker continues to raise the bar as his junior season rolls on. Congratulations to Grayson Becker, your UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Well, the big game is almost here, and there's no better way to stay locked in than Prize Picks, where it always feels good to be right. It's Mark Tauscher here, and with football winding down, this is the time to make every snap matter. Prize Picks is the easiest way to play daily fantasy. Just pick more or less on at least 2 player projections, and suddenly every drive has more on it. And right now, Prize Picks has a special big game max discount live in the app. Drake May just needs 1 passing yard for the max discount to hit. Add 1 more player, and if your picks come through, you cash in. You can also use social feeds to copy lineups from winners or follow Prize Picks partners, and with early payouts, you can cash out before the game finishes. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code WI. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNWisconsinContests.com.
That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com.
Screaming Sicilian, more is amore. Screaming Sicilian, more is amore. Amore, pepperoni, amore, mozzarella, amore. Screaming Sicilian, screaming Sicilian, more.
Screaming Sicilian frozen pizza. More toppings, more flavor. More is amore.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Time now for Whoa Riley.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa Nelly
on Wilde Tausch.
All right, guys. This is a Whoa Riley I've been excited about for about a month now. As you guys both know, my dating life is a pretty, popular topic of conversation when I fill in. And a month ago, I officially started a new dating relationship. So I am very happy and wanted to inform you guys of that to kick off today's episode of Will Riley.
Well, why didn't you tell us before now? You didn't have to be on the show to fill us in.
I like that you held it for the show.
See, I figured it'd be
I like
better
that he held
content
it for the show. Absolutely.
to hold it. So now, if you guys would like to ask me questions, you're more than welcome. If not,
where'd you meet?
Move on. So, actually, we met on Hinge, the popular dating app. So, first time that's happened, and it's sometimes it works. Sometimes it works.
Wait,
so
is
far
that
it's worked out well?
So is that the new? Again, I'm not on the dating scene and haven't been for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
That is that where most people are going now? I thought it was, what was it, Bumble, or what's the one where you swipe?
It's one of them. Most of them you swipe. You have Tinder and Bumble.
Tinder, yeah,
but,
that one.
Yep, some of those have reputations.
Farmer needs a wife.
Yeah, farmersonly.com, Match.com. But some have reputations for not sort of encouraging serious relationships.
Oh.
So this one is more apropos for people who want serious relationships.
Okay.
So
that's you, right? You're a serious. You just want to be loved, right? That's
exactly
where you're at.
Exactly.
Okay.
And
I just
all right.
want to be loved.
And I will say I felt very loved over the past month. So it's been an excellent.
You did. All right, tell us more. How did it go?
So went on a first date was to a coffee shop. That was awesome.
Nice.
It's a big coffee gal. So, and Jason, I think you'll appreciate this. She is a fellow journalist. So, very good writer, very good at what she does, very intelligent person.
Ooh, your love letters are going to be returned with red ink on them.
I know. She's going to come back with some spell checking. I've read her stories. She's legit. She's has a very strong vocabulary as well. So slightly intimidating, but very attractive to someone who appreciates the usage of the English language.
All right, so first, the most important question is, where does she stand? Because others have had a reluctance to be in any way involved with programming here or conversations here. Where does she stand on your relationship being radio fodder?
Yes. So this time, learning from previous mistakes, I talked to her ahead of time about it, anticipating this conversation.
Did you bring it up?
No.
The first date?
I mean, I brought up my job. I didn't say that, like, hey, if this works out, I'm going to talk about you on the radio all the time.
Very presumptuous. Yeah, you don't want to be presumptuous.
Sure, you don't want to assume. No.
Exactly. So yesterday, we were on a date at a certain establishment that sells ice cream. And
well, then you should be able to give them free advertising.
No, not this one. Not this one. It's technically not ice cream. So I was talking about it. That like, hey, this is probably going to come up tomorrow. And I was like, what are you comfortable with me sharing? And she was like, please don't give my name and occupation. One or the other.
Well, you just gave her. Didn't you just give her occupation?
Yep. So she said one or the other's fine. So.
Oh.
So.
Well, just wait.
I'd like.
Can we
I
go
would
back?
like to backtrack.
I would have preferred the name.
I'd rather have the name than the occupation.
Well, too late. I'll talk to her.
Well, why'd you get to choose?
So,
it's your relationship.
Yeah, we should have been able to choose.
Yeah.
Well, I'll bring it up again. We'll rehash.
Well, kudos to you,
We'll
Riley.
discuss.
No, we're just joking. Kudos to you, man. That's awesome. Good luck.
We're very happy for you. So,
Thank you.
in a month, how many times have you seen her?
Man, a lot. Many times.
Okay.
Already met each other's families. She has an amazing family. She also somehow, she's one of the only people I've met that has a bigger family than me. I have 6 siblings. Okay. She has 7.
Wow. Your family get-togethers, if this works out, are going to be awesome.
And get this. She is the youngest and has 7 older brothers. So
it's a good thing you know jiu-jitsu.
Exactly. Although some are in the military, so it's a little frightening. Gotta be locked in.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. I have so many questions, and we have the trade deadline show coming up, so I have to limit myself. So if you spent this much time together, what are some of the other dates that you have been on? Because it seems, again, I'm only getting one side of the story, and since I don't know her name, and I don't want to call everyone at each television station in Madison and each newspaper in Madison to find out who she is, what other dates have you been on?
So we have been sledding during that big snowstorm earlier on in January. That was awesome. Went to Elver Park, the giant hill.
Yeah.
Sensational sledding spot. We watched Lord of the Rings in theaters when it was re-released. She's a big Lord of the Rings fan. Went to see that. I haven't seen the movies. I've read the books. So that was a fun experience. Snuck some Rice Krispie treats into the theater. Delicious. And I think those
Wait, did you make them or did she?
No, her mom made them, actually. They were fantastic. Would highly recommend. Maybe I'll bring her next time you guys are in the office. I'll see if she can whip some up.
Just keep working on the relationship. You don't have to you don't have to ask her to ask her mom to get us Rice Krispie treats. All right, last question for me on this because I'm excited. What's the age gap, if there is one?
Yes, so she is actually older than me by a few months. Her birthday is next week, and she is turning 25. So happy early birthday to her.
Well, wait a
Very
minute now.
excited for
Whoa,
that.
stop. All right, I lied. I've got a follow-up question.
Yes.
So the timing of this now, how all out do you go for her birthday a month in versus, say, if her birthday was 6 months in or 9 months in to dating?
See, that's a good question. I'm going very close to all out because I really like her. So I'm going maybe like 7/8 all out. You want to leave? I feel like I want to leave just a little bit of room for improvement.
For next year's birthday.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When I have a little more cash flow as well. So we're leaving a little bit of room, but want it to be romantic. Want her to feel loved. So we're not skipping.
Ooh, wait a minute.
We're not skipping.
Wait a minute.
Oh boy.
You said I want her to feel loved.
Yes.
Oh boy.
There is a.
Oh boy.
There is a one of the words there seems to be in early relationships a pressure point.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Has that word been exchanged at this juncture?
Uh-oh.
It has, actually, which is a rarity. Usually I'm a little more restrained. I'll admit I have not been as restrained when it comes to the usage of that particular word in this relationship.
Who went first?
Yes.
Who went first?
Boom.
Great question. She did, but I'd been considering it, so.
Okay.
Like it was pretty equal. I was not disappointed. Say that.
Wow.
This is great.
This has been a really feel-good. This has been a feel-good Will Riley so far.
Can you come back tomorrow for more questions for Feel Good Friday?
No, I do want a birthday. We probably. When is her birthday? Next week?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think we need a birthday update. You come in and take over a Whoa Jesse. Although there's Whoa Nelly. He's going to take another day. He's got another We Act Wednesday. Maybe we just make this. We'll want an update on Thursday.
Excellent. I think that'll be doable.
Jason, I think Riley. There is and I'm not going to give out free advertising for these prediction websites. I feel like my guy here, if I had to go Thanksgiving, which that's always my line of demarcation, I think it might be 60 or 70% that something big happens before Thanksgiving.
Wow.
That's the vibe I'm getting from
it. It's a
Boy.
great vibe. I'm happy. I'm surprised that our friend John Kerry has not texted me because I know he listens every day. I believe he and his wife were together for a very brief time dating before they got engaged, and they've been married for over 50 years now. So this can, I'm not planning your 2077 50th anniversary just yet, but we're excited for you, and you can hear the excitement in your voice.
Yes,
And
you can.
The L word conversation, I not that I was hoping that one had said it and it had been you and you didn't get it back, but that would have been better content. This is happier content, and this is great. So we're very happy for you. So have you written a handwritten letter to this point?
No, that's coming up. We got
Part of the birthday plan.
Valentine's Day coming up.
Aren't you a little nervous? Because it didn't go well last time you did that. Now, obviously, different gal. But you're going to get back on the horse, huh?
Yep.
Each person is a different person.
It's time to get back in the saddle. We had like a year off, improve, get back in the swing of things, and we're ready to roll.
All right.
Wow. I don't know.
Well, it's nice when there's some youthful enthusiasm instead of just three old, married dudes sitting around talking.
It is.
Kudos to you, youngster.
Thank you. And I appreciate everyone in the YouTube chat who is showing me love as well. It means a lot. So thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Does it? Does it?
Yeah, I like the YouTube chat. I like interacting with fans personally.
Well, I'm just so used to producers that don't like the YouTube chat that this is it's different. It's a change of pace.
And I guess I'm still young in the industry. Like, I think it's cool that people care about what I'm doing and what I'm saying. So
I love it. I love it. I can't log in, but I love it. It's great.
Yeah. Riley, we're happy for you. We wish you more continued happiness and love and success in your young relationship here with a journalist to be named later. Because I still think we should have gotten our choice. Yeah. But nevertheless, we are happy for you, and we wish you good luck as you move forward. We need to wrap up the show. It's too bad, actually. Because I kind of want to end it here. Nothing we do in the final segment is going to be as good as this was. But we will get you ready.
Let's let Strofe take over at the end. Let's go. We're good.
We will get you ready. John Kerry just chimed in. 2 months they were dating before they got engaged. So that is the projection.
You guys got a full
Prize Picks.
You guys got a full month, Riley. You're only a month in. You got another month.
All right, got a full month. Got to start planning quick.
And actually, Riley, in fairness, February is a short month, so you get part of March.
Yeah,
okay,
for sure. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
We'll get you ready for the NBA trade deadline show next. It's Wilde Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Truth Nation, mark your calendars for Friday, February 20th, as we will be hosting our second annual Truth Community Awards, hosted by the legendary Home, Blow, and Bailey Cope. Tickets are on sale now. Visit 1017truthawards.com to learn more. The Truth Community Awards are sponsored by Milwaukee College Prep, the Milwaukee Bucks, Gruber, Steinhoffel, Cousin Subs, and 3rd Street Market Hall. Come celebrate with us on Friday, February 20th at the Truth Community Awards from 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Do not miss out on the best community awards event of the year.
It all started with a small storefront and a big promise. Treat every customer just like family. For decades, local families have trusted Sendix to provide the freshest food, the warmest smiles, and a place where community comes first. From generation to generation, we have grown together. Because Sendix is more than just a grocery store. It's home. Thank you for allowing us to serve you for the past 100 years. Here's to the next 100 years. Sendix, your trusted local grocer.
Come grow with us at Glenroy. For more than 6 decades, our family-owned company has built its reputation on quality, reliability, and providing strong career opportunities in our community. As the packaging industry rapidly grows, so does Glenroy. Here, you'll find competitive wages, a clean, modern workspace, fully vested 401k, yearly bonus award, and the chance to build a manufacturing career with purpose. Apply today at glenroy.com/careers. That's GLENROY.com/careers.
The Superb Owl Squares contest is back, and it's a total game changer. Listen to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy all weekend. Get your squares during the show, presented by Professional Construction, Inc. One lucky winner takes home a virtual interior design service valued at $500. Perfect if your space appears to be in a rebuilding year and not championship caliber. Call an audible and let the pros draw up the winning play. Learn more at ProfessionalConstructionInc.com. Listen to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy for Superb Owl Squares this week on 94.5 ESPN.
$2.3 million. A recent Schwab survey of Americans says that it takes $2.3 million to be wealthy. Well, you may have had your financial plan set on a bigger or a more humble number. But if you're looking for added insights on how to get there or how to avoid some tax pitfalls on the way, Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen. Mark Tauscher here, and whether your situation is complex or simple, the Annex Wealth Management team can give you wealth expertise and guidance on reaching your goals. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
This Valentine's month, Milwaukee Weight Loss is sharing the love with $300 off during our Valentine's sale. Now through February
February 28th only. It's the perfect time to fall in love with the result-getting Milwaukee weight loss program. We know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day with no exercising, no prepackaged meals, no counting points or calories, no drugs, no surgery, and no injections with the risk of serious side effects. Whether you want to look great for Valentine's Day, an upcoming event, or just for you, you can start losing those unwanted pounds right now. No more losing weight and gaining it back. This program helps you keep the weight off for good. Visit MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation today.
Josh DiMaggio here, and I have already lost 15 pounds since I started this journey in mid-January, and now it's your time to show yourself some love with $300 off. But hurry, this Valentine's sale ends February 28th. Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. Call 262-235-3980 now for your free consultation. That's 262-235-3980 or visit MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Results may vary.
If you're into muskie fishing, the Muskie Expo is the place to be this coming weekend, the 13th through the 15th, where you'll find an excellent assortment of everything muskies, held at the Washington County Fair Park. Find out more at muskieexpo.com.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
All right, we got to get out of here. You can stay right here. Stay right on this station or on this stream. I don't know if you have to click a different thing on YouTube to get to it, but the NBA trade deadline show with Alex Strofe, Ben Brust, and Gabe Neitzel across ESPN Wisconsin is next. Tausch, any parting words for our in-love cousin sub of the day, Riley Yauk, before we go?
Kudos to Riley and Bucks. We need to at least move one